The following is a live sports presentation of Glycod. GLICOD.com.
Glycod's coverage of Central Kentucky high school football starts now. Presented by Bluegrass Community and Technical College.
Good morning. It is a gorgeous morning for high school football on Glycod. I'm Chris Labar. He's former Middlesboro head baseball coach Bill Powell. Welcome to the farm. Frederick Douglass and Bryan Station. Bill, these two teams, you get the sense are really building towards a stretch run.
Oh, absolutely, Chris. I was excited when I first got assigned this game because you know it's going to be a huge game. It's going to have postseason implications, and then there's just a huge pride factor between these two close programs.
Both teams are 4-3. Bryan Station, they've won 4 straight. Yes, maybe it's a product of a lesser schedule, but they are playing much better.
Oh, they've played a rigorous schedule, really tough. Both teams have, and you know that's really important in terms of improving that RPI and playing good people.
We'll talk with Coach Hawkins in a moment. He feels like this program, today's game, really the sense for them to take the next step.
Well, I think so, and I think that's something that Station wants to do. Everyone knows Douglas is not lost to a city school, and I'm sure that Bryan Station would love to be the one to knock them off.
Broncos will welcome back Darion Talbert today. He is some kind of difference maker. He's been hurt all season long. He is a factor on the outside.
Oh, and what a great game to get him back for. Who knows? He might have been able to go last week, but they want to make sure that he's ready to go this week. But, you know, they've got a great running core, a bevy of backs, but to throw him in with those receivers just makes it really tough on a defense.
It's going to be a great afternoon for football. Thank you so much for joining us. Bryan Station and Frederick Douglass, and more coverage on the other pause from Glycod.
Home of excellent service, support, and satisfaction, Lexington Outdoor Power Equipment is your one-stop mower shop. Family owned since 1985, Lexington Outdoor offers top brands like Husqvarna, Toro, Grasshopper, and Echo. Plus, free pickup and delivery. Located just 2 miles west of Douglas High School, they're open weekdays and most Saturday mornings. For more info, stop in or visit their website at lexoutdoorpower.com. Lexington Outdoor Power Equipment, the right equipment for the right job.
A new year means next level math, but even the best teachers can't always provide the personal attention each child needs. Magnesium has a solution to help any student excel. Our caring, highly trained instructors use a range of teaching modes that ensure true foundational understanding. We're not about rote memorization. The Magnesium method develops the critical thinking and problem-solving skills they need to succeed, with the option to learn face-to-face online at home or face-to-face at one of our 1,000 neighborhood learning centers. Magnesium, we're changing lives through math.
We all make choices about alcohol. Kids make choices whether to drink or not.
Bye, Dad.
Bye-bye.
Remember, I'm going to Alex's party tonight and sleeping over.
You have fun. Hey, remind me about that party again?
And adults make choices whether to talk about it. That's true of parents and every other trusted adult in a kid's life. Kids want to know our expectations, and they want honest answers in everyday conversations. So talk with your kids and help lead them on a positive path. Because when you talk, they hear you.
New recruit, take advantage of our apprenticeship program. Come out of our 4-year course debt-free. With health insurance, a guaranteed pension, a degree, and an electrical license.
3 words I'd use to describe the apprenticeship are opportunity, skillful, educational,
solid career path,
rewarding, beneficial, and a brotherhood.
A life-changing opportunity.
The cost of school is free. All your books are paid for.
You go to school once every 2 weeks. All the other stuff is on-the-job training.
The teachers here are great. They're all very, very knowledgeable.
They're preparing you for what you're already seeing in the field.
If you're struggling with something in school, sometimes your fellow students can help you work through that.
Everyone's willing to help each other. It's like a big family.
I love being a part of a union, something bigger than myself.
This field is so vast. You can find something that you really love to do because there is so much you can do.
I went from a job to a life-changing career.
Power up your potential with the IBEW.
People want to define Gen Z, but that's our job.
I wait tables, but last week I built a field hospital.
I put out a forest fire.
I stopped 1,000 attackers.
And a natural disaster.
I've saved lives.
And led a team on patrol.
I serve.
Well, I go to school full-time.
While I work full-time.
Greater the challenge,
the stronger we become.
This edition of Coach's Comments is brought to you by the Kentucky Army National Guard. Serve your country while going to school or work full-time. Find your fit at nationalguard.com.
Well, Philip, just like always, you guys playing well here in the meat of the fall. Winners now 4 straight. What's been the big change in terms of the positive trajectory?
I think that like we've talked about in the past, when you schedule tough early in the year, it gives you an opportunity to find some guys, find the changes you need to make. And we've taken those losses early in the year and turned them into lessons. And we found the guys that we think we can go with, and they've produced. And our goal obviously is to play as deep and as long as we can in the playoffs. And I feel like we've got our personnel in line now, and we've turned out 4 wins. Hopefully we can find a 5th. James Davis, the quarterback, how has he progressed this season? I think, it was so new for him, we threw him into the fire, and so we had some struggles with him, but I think he's become a little bit more confident, and he's found ways to use his legs to get him out of some trouble. And he's completed some passes at a higher rate than he did early in the season. And I think he's also found some confidence in the other receivers, so, he's found that he's got multiple targets out there, and we've been proud of his progression, and we just expected him to grow every week, and he seems to be headed in the correct direction. Running back at Kalen Washington, leading 6A in rushing for his career. What's he have, over 4,300 yards, et cetera? Well, describe what he means to your program and all the great players you've coached. Well, Jaws is, Jaws as we call him. He's just a steady as you go guy. He's a guy that gets better throughout the game, and he'll gain a hard yard when we need it, and he can also find the edge and take it to the house. So he's been a pleasure to have over the last 2 seasons, and I've been fortunate enough to know him since he was an infant. So I've watched him grow up, and he's been a joy to have in this program. One of the things it does do, though, having a kid like Kalen Washington is it allows some of our perimeter guys to start getting some touches, because teams get so focused on Jaws that it's starting to free up some space. And James is now learning how to find those guys and understands that our running game helps with the passing game, and the passing game is important to the run game. So we've balanced ourselves out. I feel comfortable about that. And that's where most of my offenses end up, pretty balanced, run pass. So, I think Jaws has helped balance that out, and we expect him to continue to be a big part of our offense. When we talked before the season, you talked about this new kicker that you had entering the program. Yeah. And here we are, week 8, wherever we are, John Hannon, 22 of 23 on extra points. He's perfect on field goals. Are you surprised by how well he's played? Not really. When dumb luck helped me find him. He was a former soccer player and happened to be in my weightlifting class. And literally one day after we finished our weightlifting, I asked him to come out and try to kick some footballs. And, he was pretty good at it day one. Obviously putting 11 guys across from him and putting the snap and the holder and all that in place was a little different. But, I think he's made 2 big field goals. I think 2 42-yarders in a row in the last couple games. And we need a kicker. At the high school level, a kicker can change a football game. They can, get you 3 points when you need it. They can flip the field. He's also done an incredible job recently punting. So, we try not to punt a lot, but he has got a big foot when he punts as well. And he's been a pleasant addition to our program. And the great thing is this is his first year, but we're going to have him again next year. So, I think his future is bright, and he's one of the better kickers around. I think people will find that long term, and he's been a good addition.
Big one today against a really good team. How do you guys break through in this series?
Yeah, that's the $1 million question. I think that we have been able to play them close in a couple games. This will be the fourth time that I've coached against McPeak, and he does a great job with this program. And I think that we've had success. Our kids are getting a little more motivated about this game, and even with some close beginnings in some of these games, we haven't been able to finish it because of turnovers, because of just mental mistakes. And I think if we clean some of that up, it makes it a a close game anyway. But they're fine. They're a fine group of football players over there at Douglas, and my job is to get over this hump. I thought I got over some humps when we beat Trinity in the playoffs a couple of years ago, but ultimately the team 3 miles away, is the next hurdle for our program.
Good luck today. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Head coach Philip Hawkins will be right back after this.
Glycon on YouTube is Kentuckiana's fastest growing high school sports video site. When you click to subscribe, don't forget to tap the bell and be notified of our upcoming live broadcasts and other unique video content. Subscribe for free now at youtube.com/Glycon.
A new year means next level math, but even the best teachers can't always provide the personal attention each child needs. Magnesium has a solution to help any student excel. Our caring, highly trained instructors use a range of teaching modes that ensure true foundational understanding. We're not about rote memorization. The Magnesium method develops the critical thinking and problem-solving skills they need to succeed, with the option to learn face-to-face online at home or face-to-face at one of our 1,000 neighborhood learning centers. Magnesium, we're changing lives through math.
With Fast Signs, create custom deep-sea signage that makes the wait a visual escape. Fast Signs, make your statement.
New recruit, take advantage of our apprenticeship program. Come out of our 4-year course debt-free. With health insurance, a guaranteed pension, a degree, and an electrical license.
3 words I'd use to describe the apprenticeship are opportunity, skillful, educational,
solid career path,
rewarding, beneficial, and a brotherhood.
A life-changing opportunity.
The cost of school is free. All your books are paid for.
You go to school once every 2 weeks. All the other stuff is on-the-job training.
The teachers here are great. They're all very, very knowledgeable.
They're preparing you for what you're already seeing in the field.
If you're struggling with something in school, sometimes your fellow students can help you work through that.
Everyone's willing to help each other. It's like a big family.
I love being a part of a union, something bigger than myself.
This field is so vast. You can find something that you really love to do because there is so much you can do with it.
I went from a job to a life-changing career.
Power up your potential with the IBEW.
Home of excellent service, support, and satisfaction, Lexington Outdoor Power Equipment is your one-stop mower shop. Family owned since 1985, Lexington Outdoor offers top brands like Husqvarna, Toro, Grasshopper, and Echo. Plus, free pickup and delivery. Located just 2 miles west of Douglas High School, they're open weekdays and most Saturday mornings. For more info, stop in or visit their website at lexoutdoorpower.com. Lexington Outdoor Power Equipment, the right equipment for the right job.
Are you an HVAC and refrigeration tech looking for new opportunities? Tech24 is your single source for commercial HVAC, refrigeration, and kitchen equipment maintenance all across the country. We have exciting career opportunities with great pay and benefits in your area. To learn more, contact Brad at 864-549-8344 and check us out on the web at mytech24.com. 864-549-8344.
You're watching Central Kentucky High School Football on Glycod.
A gorgeous Saturday morning as we welcome you back to the farm in Lexington. Chris LeBar, along with former Middlesboro baseball coach Bill Powell. Great to have you with us. And Bill, hearing Coach Hawkins. We'll hear from McPeak in a moment. A lot of mutual respect between these two programs.
Oh, yes, and both of them have done such a great job. And you know how it is when you got two good programs like this. You do give respect to one another. And Bryan Station has really come on the last few years. He's done a really good job over there.
He sure has. This program, when he inherited back in 2020, it was not their finest hour, although they've had a lot of respect back in the 80s and 90s. And now you fast forward to 2024, this team seeking their third straight semifinal appearance. Uncharted waters here recently.
Yeah, and I know they'd like to take it a step further, actually 2 steps further. I think they got to the semis there or the quarterfinals. Which one? I'm not sure which one it was, but I'm sure they'd like, if they can beat Douglas, then they can definitely contend for a state title.
There are a lot of keys in this matchup. We'll talk about those in just a little moment. For now, today's weather forecast presented by Lexington Outdoor Power Equipment. They offer the right equipment for the right job. Lexington Outdoor Power Equipment, 1111 Winchester Road in Lexington. It is perfect. My could not ask for better conditions, clear and comfortable. It is a perfect football weather, although at this time of the day the sun could be a factor.
Yeah, you know, it only says 72 degrees, but when you get out there, it does feel warmer, and especially coming off that turf, I'm sure it'll be hotter than the 72 degrees. But just looking at it, it's just absolutely a beautiful day.
Frederick Douglass, the home team, will chat with head coach Nathan McPeak. His comments on the other side of this timeout. You're watching Week 9, Central Kentucky High School football from Glycott.
Are you an HVAC and refrigeration tech looking for new opportunities? Tech 24 is your single source for commercial HVAC, refrigeration, and kitchen equipment maintenance all across the country. We have exciting career opportunities with great pay and benefits in your area. To learn more, contact Brad at 864-549-8344 and check us out on the web at mytech24.com. 864-549-8344.
Let's get real. With us, you'll get a great education that can lead to a great career faster. Even better, you won't end up with crippling debt. College for the real world. College for your world.
Central Kentucky Driving School is raising the bar in driver education because the safety of their students is too important for anything less. Offering driver training for teens and adults, Central Kentucky Driving School will equip you with the skills needed to become a safe and confident driver. A proud community partner, Central Kentucky Driving School invests in their students and families and guides you every step of the way. For more information, give them a call at 859-538-7775 or visit drivecky.com.
Stuck on the road? Call Martin's Peterbilt Mobile Service. Our 24/7 commercial roadside service, truck and trailer repair, and warranty service will have you back on the road in no time. Call us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Martin's Peterbilt, keeping you rolling.
Calling all football fans. Come on down to Roosters, where the wings are hot, the drinks are cold, and the good times never stop. Roosters is where you can catch all the action of the game and enjoy a delicious meal. Choose from 15 varieties of sauces. Even try our burgers, salads, and out-of-this-world pizzas. Something for everyone at Roosters. Dine in, carry out, or let us cater. Open late for the Night Owls. Visit our Richmond Road location or off Nicholasville Road by Walmart.
People want to define Gen Z, but that's our job.
I wait tables, but last week I built a field hospital.
I put out a forest fire.
I stopped 1,000 attackers.
And a natural disaster.
I've saved lives.
And led a team on patrol.
I serve.
Well, I go to school full-time. While I work full-time.
The greater the challenge, the stronger we become.
This segment of tonight's game is brought to you by the Kentucky Army National Guard. Serve your country while going to school or work full-time. Find your fit at nationalguard.com.
Well, Nate, a big win last week against a good team. What are some takeaways from that Madison Central victory?
I mean, a win's a win. I don't ever want to complain about, that. But, it wasn't our standard. It was kind of an ugly win. Give Madison Central credit. Coach Blair's went to an offense that shortens the game, and they take their time on offense and, make you prepare for a lot of different things with the wing tee and some wishbone and stuff like that. So credit him and his staff for getting his kids to believe in that system. And, similar to Coach McKee over at, Scott is they really shorten the game on you. So offensively, we kind of ran up and down the field and we just didn't have the ball very much. We had close to 300 yards of offense, I think, but we only ran 42 plays. We had to kick a field goal inside the 10-yard line. It was 7-0, and I thought that really changed the complexion of the game. We missed that field goal and didn't score to go up 14-0 in the first half, and I thought they gained a lot of momentum from that. But we made a lot of mistakes in the game. We had a punt return. We didn't communicate very well and turned it over. And I was probably the most upset after that game than I was even after the 3 losses this year, just because of kind of some of the things that we didn't do very well.
Penalties and turnovers, Coach. You guys now -6 unofficially on turnover margin. How concerning are those two phases within this game?
Yeah, I mean that's the we're -7 in the 3 losses that we have. So and then we're 300 and some yards and penalties in the 3 losses we have. 200 of that was DuPont manual. So it's definitely the two things that we always focus on. We do turnover circuit every day, and we got to be smarter in some of the penalties that we have too.
In terms of what you did well last week, plus 200 yards on the ground. A few weeks ago, you made some tweaks on the offensive line. How encouraged are you by some of those improvements?
Yeah, I think we're doing a good job in the run game. It's our offense has really been playing well. Coach Harris and our staff has kind of went to a change in some of the things that we're doing with our tempo and things like that. And we have a lot of weapons. We have a lot of good running backs and a lot of good receivers. Obviously Jackson's playing much better than he did early in the year with the Trinity and the manual losses. And I'm pleased. I think we're on the upward trajectory offensively, and, we'll have to do that tonight.
You'll get a boost with Darion Talbert back today on offense, his first game this season due to the summer injury. What are your expectation levels of his performance today?
I mean, obviously you can't expect what he did last year early on. I'm excited for him being a senior to get back out and do some things. We'll have to limit some of his reps just because of, football conditioning, but he's looked good the last couple of weeks in practice. I mean, he looks like his old self to me, but, to have the expectation of what he did a year ago right away is unrealistic. That's not how football works, but I expect him, to play, hopefully 30, 35 plays and get the ball in his hand some and see what he can do. He's obviously probably our best player on offense last year, and it's going to change our offense as we head toward the postseason.
Bryan Station, the opponent today, 4-game winning streak, albeit the competition been a little bit less in the last month of the season for them. How would you assess where they are right now?
I mean, they got a good program. Obviously, they're coming off a really, really good year last year playing in the state game. They obviously it starts and ends with, Washington at running back. And, their quarterback is elusive, kind of like Cutright was last year, even though he's a new quarterback. And he can give you some issues there. Defensively, they're very athletic in the secondary, and they got 2 big defensive tackles that you got to move out of there, and they're long on the edges defensively. So they do a good job. They're similar athletically to us. It's obviously the 2 best teams in Lexington, I think, as far as athletes go. And we'll have to, like I said, the 2 things you mentioned, we got to take care of the football, and we got to limit penalties. If we do those 2 things, I think we'll be in good shape. And if we don't stop the run and turn the ball over, we'll be in bad shape. So we got to do the basic fundamentals and play with aggression and play smart. But definitely going to be a good ball game, and look forward to the challenge.
Certainly with them, everyone knows they're going to run the ball so much, but yet they continue to do it well. How are they able to sustain that?
I mean, they get on you. They got some big linemen, and part of that is just their skill level. You know, he's hard back to bring down, and you know, they'll put him at quarterback some and do some wildcat stuff with him, and you know, they're athletic enough on the edges to, you know, make you stay awake at night with a green kid at receiver. Then Haskins will go out there and do some things. So, you know, they're athletic enough to do that, and the quarterback can throw a go ball and throw hitches and throw screens. So, you know, and if you miss a tackle on those guys, you know, it's 6. And, you know, our secondary is playing a little better, but, you know, I think people underestimated losing Terrion and Lowe, obviously 2 Power 5 corners from a year ago. I think a lot of people underestimated, you know, just the inexperience that we have back there. And hopefully our guys can continue getting better. We've really pushed them in practice to get better, and hopefully they come out and do well.
Good luck this afternoon.
Appreciate it. Thank you, sir.
Head coach Nathan McPeak. We'll be right back.
We're here to hear what's on your mind. Take this time to talk and get it right. You know I'll be there all your life. When you need me, I'll be by your side.
Little everyday conversations about the dangers of underage drinking can make a big difference in a child's life. Talk. They hear you.
Let's get real. With us, you'll get a great education that can lead to a great career faster. Even better, you won't end up with crippling debt. College for the real world. College for your world.
From Glycod, it's Central Kentucky High School football, presented by Bluegrass Community and Technical College. Never underestimate you. Tonight's game is brought to you by Cartown Kia in Nicholasville, movement that inspires. IBEW Local 369, power up your potential. Mathnasium of East and West Lexington, changing lives through math. Roosters, a fun, casual place for wings and more. Martin's Peterbilt of Central Kentucky, Community Action Council, New Vista, Tech 24, Lexington Outdoor Power Equipment, and Fast Signs. Now to the field for all the action from Glycod on Central Kentucky High School football. Presented by Bluegrass Community and Technical College.
Bryan Station, Frederick, Douglas, live this afternoon from the farm in Lexington. Chris Labar along with former Middlesboro assistant football coach Bill Powell. Great to have you with us. We'd like to remind you today's broadcast is authorized by Frederick Douglass High School with production rights owned by Glycod. Our aim is to provide the most positive representation for all participating student athletes, coaches, and game personnel. Thank you for watching. Let's transition to the keys to this game presented by Martin's Peterbilt of Central Kentucky. A huge thank you to all the great folks at Martin's Peterbilt. Bill, what stands out first today for Bryan Station?
Well, I think the running game of Bryan Station, relying on the shoulders of Kalen, they call him Jaws Washington. You know, he's just a load to bring down. He's run for nearly 900 yards already this season against a tough slate. And so they're going to really rely on him. And so what can this vaulted defense for Douglas do? I looked at Douglas's defense, and they've got, maybe 7 guys that have already been committed verbally or have interest from universities. So really an outstanding defense. So I'll be interested to see what they work up to slow him down. And, of course, as Coach McPeak alluded to earlier, they've got to cut down on the mistakes, quit turning the ball over, and, of course, just silly penalties. And those are what really hurt the worst. And then I would say most importantly, you know, you're talking about high school kids. You got to stay focused. I think there's a mental hurdle that a team like Bryan Station has to get over. They believe they can beat him, but you know sometimes things don't start out right, and then you're in the mindset, oh, here we go again. So they're going to have to stay focused and just believe in their system, believe in their coach, and believe that they can play with and beat this very strong Douglas team.
Winner of this game, in all likelihood, will be the top seed, at least in terms of the regular season district championship, so they will be guaranteed 2 home games with the playoffs starting on November 8th. So not only a huge rivalry, but a big outcome as well as the winner with a leg up moving into the postseason.
Sure, a lot on the line for both teams. It's always better to get that number 1 seed because it helps you going through the playoffs. So they can still end up meeting again down the road, but the road gets a lot easier if you get that number 1 seed.
While we have a moment, want to say congratulations to Demetrius Gay and his Henry Clay football program. Their first win in a couple of years last night, defeated Dunbar. And always good to see those guys over there get a win.
Oh, yeah. Really happy for those guys. I know that they have really struggled as of late, but that was certainly a good win for them. I was glad to see that when I checked out the reports last night. So, yeah, kudos to them.
So the Broncos and defenders, not a cloud in the sky, just a flawless, perfect late morning for Central Kentucky high school football. And Bill, another wild card we've not talked a lot about it, you and I, is the value of Darion Talbert today. He's 1,100 receiving yards last year, just a tremendous athlete. What role will he have today in his first game back?
That's interesting you should say that, Chris. I was trying to read between the lines between what Coach McPeak was saying. He didn't want to give away too much, but he did say that he showed flashes of his old self the last several days. And if he shows any of those flashes today, that's certainly a big boost for the Broncos. But I'm sure he's downplaying the importance of getting him back. But I'm sure he's very excited to have him in the fold.
Well, I think a flash is the operative word with that sub 4.5 speed. It will be Bryan Station football to begin this game. And for the Douglas Broncos, Aiden Lawless will assume most of the kicking duties today. Aiden, a mainstay on the 11th region finalist Douglas soccer team. They lost last night 2-0 to Henry Clay. So Lawless now a full-time football kicker. And he is coming into his own as this season continues. And the Broncos will give it away to start. And a short kick. It's Kamani Barber out for Station, and Barber will wiggle across the 30-yard line. So the Bryan Station offense in tow. The unit averaging 28 points per game. Jabari Woods is the left tackle. Glenn Bachanga left guard. Jeremiah Moore, sophomore center, the right side of the line. 2 seniors, Keon Watson and right tackle Dwayne Stallworth. James Davis is the senior quarterback with Kalen Washington, top 6A rusher, the primary ball carrier. Kalen just under 900 rush yards on the year. And then a trio, perhaps 4 great receivers, Kamani Barber, Damon Green, and Jordan Haskins, just to name a few. First down and 10 after the Station roll call, and we are underway. And a high snap, and Washington tries to scoop it up, and just like that, Bryan Station's going to lose about 10 yards.
Oh, gosh, Chris, not the start that they wanted. And he was lucky to come up with that ball. Unfortunately, fell on it there about the 10-yard line. So starting off in the hole.
An errant snap from Moore, and that's going to be back. They're going to mark this back at about the 11-yard line, a loss of 15 yards.
Maybe a little case of those jitters here on a big game like this.
We'll see how that revises the play calling here. Station backed up in a big hole to start. And Davis rolling to the left. He's going to outrace Caden Clay, and Davis slung down just shy of the 20-yard line.
Davis has shown some real elusiveness this year, and I'm sure that's something that Douglas has worked on in practice this week. You've got to be able to keep him in front of you. Otherwise, he could get some big gains out of that. But a really nice tackle there. I didn't get the number, but good defensive football play in open field.
Third down and long. And Station trying to avoid 3 and out. Davis in the shotgun. Davis up in the pocket. And James Davis slung down just across the 32 to the 34-yard line. He'll pick up about 13, but remain short of a first down.
Yeah, and I think that's Tayandre Clark that made that tackle that time. Was also the one that made the tackle before, the 6 foot, 189-pound senior. second on the team in tackles with 49, and I can see why he stayed home out there in the flat, and so broke down. Good defensive football player.
It's a 4th down and about 4 as John Hannon will kick it away. You heard Coach Hawkins talk about his double-duty kicker and the value he's had this year for Station. As Avion Chenault will watch it steer out to the left and out of bounds. Unofficially a 30-yard punt, and Frederick Douglass will be perched with outstanding field position.
I don't think that was any mistake that it was punted out of bounds there. I do not think they want to get Chenault with the football in his hands in space, which is, of course, is something that the offense for the Broncos wants to do, is get him the football in space. I'm sure they'll try to avoid that at every opportunity.
Frederick Douglass, O-line left to right, Austin Harmon. Howard Carter, the center, Lavelle Martin, the right side, sophomore Razion Gillespie, and Western Kentucky-bound Jackson Dials is your right tackle. Jackson Stroutman, junior quarterback, and he's going to hand to Peyton Smith, and Smith tucks it up for a couple. Smith, 2 touchdowns, 70 yards rushing last week, so he'll get the early nod in the Bronco backfield.
Nice job there, that defensive line for Bryan Station. No real surge opportunity there. They kept that to basically no gain.
So with Peyton Smith getting the nod at running back, the primary receivers, Avion Chenault, also, of course, Darion Talbert today, and Dakari Talbert, his younger brother. So 2nd down and long. Second play from Douglas's side of the field. There's a handoff to Smith, and Smith cuts it back, and a 1st down and a second-level rush up to the 41-yard line and a sprint of 18.
You know, Chris, if you watch that again, the right guard and possibly tackle both ran a trap play there. They came across to the left side, and the running back actually broke outside where it was intended to go. If you can look at right here, he bounced outside there and just used that acceleration to make a nice gain out of it.
So Smith, 2 quick totes and a Bronco 1st down at the Bryan Station 42-yard line. As Stroutman back to throw, and he is dropped and sacked. It's D-end Chris Girton with a loss of about 5.
Hesitated just a little bit long. I don't think he saw him. I think he really was keyed into that receiver and just did not see him. He was right in front of him, but good defensive football play there.
Chris Girton, his 4th sack of the year, and that's going to get the Broncos off schedule. Tanner Brown, Andrew Bachunga, Brunley Fawn, the rest of that front 4, that formidable front for Station. It's 2nd and long, and Stroutman in the belly. This is a hand to the near side. Terry Kaysen. Oh, beg your pardon. It's welcome back. Yes, sure is. Darion Talbert with a carry.
Those numbers are a little hard to pick up, Chris, but Darion just showed what great speed he had right there. There was no play there. They had done a good job. They thought on contain, but when you're facing someone like that, you've got to give them a little more leeway, or they'll just go right around you.
Douglas, 3rd down and long. Just inside the Bryan Station 40. Stroutman back to throw. Here comes the rush around the edge, and Stroutman, he's a formidable runner, and a broken tackle's going to net a 1st down. That's a huge play.
Yeah, good running effort there. They had a couple of times to stop him short of the sticks, but a missed tackle and running behind his shoulder pads there, and a nice job picking up that 1st down.
Broncos pick up their first 3rd down conversion. Stroutman on the season, 176 yards rushing. It's not necessarily the volume, it's the timing, and that's a great conversion there to move the sticks to 1st down and 10. There's an inside handoff, and the Broncos, Farrell Watts tripped up inside the 12, and a 1st down.
You know, the defenders have 8 guys, not quite in the box, but, they've got a 4-4 defense, and he walked all 4 linebackers up right there. But what happens when you do that sometimes, if you hit that seam quickly, you're by before they realize it, and you're in open space. But nice job blocking and picking up those defensive guys.
It's a touchdown saving tackle as the Broncos first down and 10 from the 11. Stroutman back to throw, and that ball nearly picked off. That was Teandre Clark that was salivating as he stepped in and could not hang on.
Oh, he saw 6 points there, Chris. Oh, he just holds on to the ball, and he, as long as he could outrun them 80 yards there, he had clear space to the end zone. I'm sure he's kicking himself now for not quite holding on to that ball.
Stroutman with the misfire, so second down and 10. Station went 3 and out on their first drive. This is the Broncos' response. This drive commenced near their 40. Yeah, Stroutman in the gun awaiting the snap from Lavelle Martin. There's Dakari Talbert with the inside handoff, and Talbert will pierce the 10.
Again, Teandre Clark, linebacker, stepped right in there and stopped that for maybe a yard gain.
Now Clark very high on this Bryan Station depth chart, both offensively and defensively. He'll get some carries as well behind Kalen Washington in the Station backfield. And the Broncos 1 for 1 thus far on third down. They'll try it again, this time at the Bryan Station 10. Stroutman, there's Dakari Talbert on an inside hand, and Talbert could not wiggle free enough. And he's brought down about the 6.
Bryan Station sold out on that. They brought both inside backers, and he's lucky that he found a seam, if you can see right there. Just really a little nifty running on his part, but not much there.
Aiden Lawless is on. This will be short field goal try. 24-yarder. No, it's Stephen Aranda. Excuse me. So Stephen Aranda will attempt this field goal, and not Lawless. High snap and Aranda's kick. Coaxed up and through, and the Broncos on the board. 25-yard Aranda field goal. We'll step aside. Bryan Station football right after this.
Central Kentucky Driving School is raising the bar in driver education because the safety of their students is too important for anything less. Offering driver training for teens and adults, Central Kentucky Driving School will equip you with the skills needed to become a safe and confident driver. A proud community partner, Central Kentucky Driving School invests in their students and families and guides you every step of the way. For more information, give them a call at 859-538-7775 or visit drivecky.com. You're watching Central Kentucky High School football on Glycod.
25-yard Stephen Aranda field goal, the first Bronco field goal of this season, as Douglas by 3. As Aiden Lawless to kick off. High spinning kick. Barber on the way up the hill. As Kamani Barber upended just shy of the 20-yard line. Great open field tackle. That was a Sion Khan.
Nice job by Khan right there. Broke down just like you teach him to defensively, and wasn't swayed by any juking, and just made a good knee-level tackle.
So the Station offense back out there. Again, 3 and out on their first drive. The first series got off on a bad snap, if you will. Loss of 15. First down at 10 from the 18. And there's Kalen Washington with an inside handoff, and Washington up to about the 23-yard line.
I think we'll see a lot of that tonight. Just lowered his head, ran behind his shoulder pads, and that makes him a tough guy to bring down. He's 5'8", 210. He's a load.
This Bryan Station offense, they are centered on the run. And a lot of adaptions out of different formations as Davis going to traipse left, trying to get to the edge, and he'll be ushered out of bounds. That's Logan Busen in pursuit, and Davis perhaps a short gain.
You saw Cedric Works come off the defensive inside here, and I thought he was going to really wrap him pretty good, but he just missed him. And Works, by the way, he's a big kid, 6'5", 230. He's a UK commit, but I heard this week that he got an offer from LSU on the table as well. So as a Kentucky fan, of course, I hope they can help keep him home where he should be.
It'd be interesting to see how that plays out. 3rd down and medium. And a big early opportunity for this Bryan Station offense to continue the drive as Davis operating in the gun, and that ball right through Washington's hands, and it will be incomplete.
Yeah, just a little high right there. Washington found that little hook zone and settled in there, but it was just a little too high for him.
So part of Davis's game that has really improved as the season has continued. His accuracy, Coach Hawkins discussing that yesterday with myself and another member of the media about how well he's thrown the football of late. That's a low snap. Hannon able to get it out in a spiraling kick, evading Avion Chenault, and it will be down at the Douglas 49-yard line. A 29-yard John Hannon punt.
Certainly leaves Frederick Douglass in a good position right here on their own 49-yard line. I'm sure this is not the start that Bryan Station wanted, but it's still just a 3-0 game.
Got 2 flags on the far sideline, just out of your view on the Bryan Station 42-yard line. Today's white hat is Liam Tobin. So Bryan Station guilty of a 15-yard personal foul. So Bryan Station now going to surrender 15 yards, and the Broncos will begin this drive with outstanding starting field position.
Very quickly went from good field position to outstanding field position here.
First down at 10. Stephen Aranda, 25-yard Bronco field goal, accounting for the lone points thus far, as Douglas will operate for the second time. And Stroutman with an inside handoff, and great pursuit by Bryan Station on the near side of the field. It was Darion Talbert with his second touch.
Darion saw nothing there, tried to bounce it outside, but the contained people stayed home that time. You can see him, he gets up in there, and they're ready for him, and I'm sure he's so used to so many times using that speed and just turning around and outrunning people, but they were good defensive job there by the defenders.
Chris Girton with a TFL. He already has a sack in the first 8 minutes of this game. Loss of 3 as Douglas will have it from the Bryan Station 39-yard line. Peyton Smith, the back, and Smith with a nice rush. Traipsing across the 30-yard line. He'll pick up about 9 yards. Peyton Smith transfer from Taylor County, where he eclipsed 1,300 yards on the ground in his junior season last year.
Just looking at that play in the replay there, Chris, just good hard-nosed football. Running straight at him.
Third down and a short 4. As the Broncos controlling the clock early. Stroutman, there's a draw. Pharaoh Watts with a nice cutback, and that should net a first down. Watts has been the most consistent ball carrier for the Broncos this season. Just shy of 300 rush yards. You also have Tate Allen and Jeremiah Turner factoring in. This is a very deep and balanced Bronco running game. In the shotgun is Stroutman. Watts again. They're going to ride the hot hand, and Farrell Watts bulldozing his way close to a first down.
Nice run right there. Farrell is 5'9", 190, good athletic kid. You can see why he has offers on the table from EKU, Miami, and Toledo, or at least interest from those schools. So he's definitely being looked at. And like you said, they just got a bevy of running backs.
1st and 10 just outside the Bryan Station 12-yard line. Defender still seeking their first down, and they're also aspiring for another short Frederick Douglass field goal. It's the Wildcat. Dakari Talbert to the near side, and Talbert seeking the edge, and he'll be ushered out inside the 5.
I like that play call, Chris. They used Darion Talbert as bait, and then bootlegged it back around, and almost if the guy could have kept his block out there and the wide receiver, I think he could have made it to the end zone. But nice play call, nice run there.
The 2nd down and medium. The officials with a little bit of a dilemma as they try. Is there a penalty as well here, Bill?
It looks to be a 10-yarder.
You might have been onto something. Maybe on the edge there was a hold.
Okay.
So that's going to drop the Broncos back right at the 20. Be first down and about 18 yards, it appears. Stroutman's back to throw, and that ball is picked. And Bryan Station with an interception in the end zone. Zay White.
Hate to be critical here, but that was a poor decision on Stoutman's part. I think he had in mind who he wanted to throw to all along, but he was in double coverage here. You see him throwing, he's got a defender in front, a defender behind, and it was just really no way short of a miracle, to get that ball in there. And good defensive play by the defenders. So they've stopped another drive here from a touchdown. And wow, I'm surprised at this spot, though, Chris. I thought he caught that ball going into the end zone. But they're going to put it on the 1-yard line.
And Zay White's 2nd interception of the season. Let's see if we can take one more look. A tremendous play by White on the interception. See if we can take a look at this spot. Oh, dear.
I don't know. He had a foot on the 1-yard line, but he went up in the air to get it.
The side judge was in great position. There's Washington trying to chisel his way out of a deep cave. He'll take it for about 2 yards.
Good play call there with a strong running back. Just get a little breathing room. An opportunity to operate a little bit.
Let's take one more look.
Number 15, Ellie Mongingo. That's a tough call. He had a foot down at the 1, but he fell into the end zone.
We need to get Gene Steratore on the line. 2nd down and 8. Station with a bunched formation, and we're going to have a Bryan Station 30-second timeout. 2nd down and long on the other side of this ball. As you're watching Central Kentucky High School football on Glycod. We'll be right back.
New year means next level math, but even the best teachers can't always provide the personal attention each child needs. Mathnasium has a solution to help any student excel. Our caring, highly trained instructors use a range of teaching modes that ensure true foundational understanding. We're not about rote memorization. The Mathnasium method develops the critical thinking and problem-solving skills they need to succeed, with the option to learn face-to-face online at home or face-to-face at one of our 1,000 neighborhood learning centers. Mathnasium, we're changing lives through math.
You're watching Central Kentucky High School football on Glycod.
An early Bryan Station timeout. That leaves them 2nd down and 8 at the 2.5-yard line. Bryan Station on after a sudden change. Zay White, an interception in the end zone. And a bunched formation here as Kalen Washington again tries to chisel out.
You're right, Chris. They really had everybody packed in there, almost like the old victory formation. Just want to make sure we don't turn it over here inside our 5-yard line and hopefully maybe break something loose.
Now, Philip Hawkins, notorious to be an aggressive play caller. But right here, you're backed up deep, 3rd down and 6. The station still trying to connect on their first 3rd down opportunity. This a little flipped at Jaws, and Jaws looks for the edge. Washington across, and that looks like a 1st down up across the 12-yard line.
I think he got it.
Running around that left side, Jabari Woods, left tackle, sealing the edge that time. And it will be a 1st down. Waning moments of this first quarter, and we're going to take it to the house. Bryan Station, football inside their 15. They'll have a new set of downs. When we come back, Broncos on top 3-0. This is Glycod.com.
Old impression when you show up in a new Kia from Cartown Kia.
Save $4,250 off a new 2024 Kia Sorento, or lease for $279 down and $279 per month. And new 2024 Kia Fortes, just $229 down and $229 per month. Or save more with rates as low as 0.9%.
And don't forget our 10-year, 100,000-mile limited warranty. Give them something to talk about in a new Kia from Cartown Kia and CartownKiaUSA.com.
Calling all football fans. Come on down to Roosters, where the wings are hot, the drinks are cold, and the good times never stop. Roosters is where you can catch all the action of the game and enjoy a delicious meal. Choose from 15 varieties of sauces. Even try our burgers, salads, and out-of-this-world pizzas. Something for everyone at Roosters. Dine in, carry out, or let us cater. Open late for the Night Owls. Visit our Richmond Road location or off Nicholasville Road by Walmart.
You're watching Central Kentucky High School football on Glycod.
First down and 10, Bryan Station at their 12-yard line. Stephen Aranda, 25-yard Bronco field goal, accounting for the lone points thus far in this game. Bryan Station with a key takeaway as well. As Davis operating in the gun, his companion, his security blanket, Washington getting the handoff, and Washington across the 15 down to the 18-yard line, and for the first time in a while, Station now ahead of the chains.
And that's what they want to do with this offense. They want to run the football, and they've got several good wide receivers that they can throw to. They've got about 4 guys who've caught at least 10 passes apiece, but they want the ball in Washington's hands and driving down the field to set up those passes.
Check it down in medium. Washington again tucks it up inside. And he'll be a couple yards short of a first down. This Bronco defense coordinated by Jeffrey Poe. Only giving up 21 a game, but the downside, they're not taking too many away. Only 4 turnovers on the season.
I think part of that would come in having played really good football teams that are not prone to turn it over quite a bit. But nevertheless, you really do want to try to get your kids to force some turnovers.
Bryan Station 1 out of 3 on third downs. They'll try it again from their 20-yard line. High snap, and there's Washington up the gut. Second level rush, and that's going to be enough for a first down. Tackle by Corey Fields.
Another good thing about running Washington like they are too, you're keeping the ball out of Douglas's hands. If you can drive the ball, eat up precious time on that clock, then that's less opportunities for them to get the ball in the hands of Chenault and so many of their other playmakers.
First down and 10 for the defender.
Bryan Station only 1 pass attempt thus far was an incompletion to Washington. First down and 10. Here's the second one, it looks like, and it's zung and incomplete as Jordan Haskins was the intended target.
Nice job trying to set that up, a little play action pass, but he was well covered. It's probably fortunate the pass was a little high because he was very well covered.
So Davis 0 for his first two, 48% completer coming in. At the Bryan Station 26-yard line. Second down at 10. Caden Clay around the edge. He timed it beautifully. There's no flags, and Clay back for a big tackle for loss.
Yeah, Cedric Works came off that end right there. He did time. I don't know if he tied. It almost looked like he beat the snap, but nevertheless, the officials agree with you 100%. Really nice football play there.
Loss all the way back to the 26. So third down and 11. Not the favorable down and distance that Bryan Station needs in this game. Davis looking down for Barber. And it's incomplete. Jordan Haskins also out there.
Douglas has just done a really good job tonight, staying with these receivers stride for stride. You've got four really talented guys in there, in Hill, Kahn, Moniego, and Wright. And Strozier works in there some as well. So a really good, strong defensive secondary.
John Hannon will punt for the third time. The first two have evaded Avion Chenault. And Hannon able to get it out. It's a spiraling guided kick to the right. And it's going to trickle down at the Bronco 42-yard line.
Chris, they really got a little lucky there. I don't think the defensive people, they just want to run in and make sure that he's praying the ball and set up their return. And when he fumbled, I think it caught them off guard and just enabled him enough time to pick it up and get the punt off.
See what the Broncos can do on this drive. Send out to Braylon Moss in this formation at the top of your screen with the pink sweatshirt underneath. And Stroutman, an early interception in the shotgun for the Broncos. And there's an inside handoff and a nice wiggle and a first down. Second level rush up to the 43. That's Pharaoh Watts picking up about 18 yards. You got a flag. So penalties and turnovers. It's been a theme for much of the Broncos season, certainly in their losses, and it's rearing its head here early in this game.
Uh-oh. I think someone said something to the official there. I could just tell by the body language he didn't like it, and he threw that flag about 20 feet high. So maybe adding to that 15-yard penalty.
It's going to be very frustrating on the near sideline for head coach McPeak.
There's the first penalty. Taking note, and then here goes 15 more yards on the second one. Wow. What a turn of events there. 25 yards on two penalties.
Be first down at 35. And as the Broncos now back inside their 20. Pair of backs sandwiching Stroutman. That's Peyton Smith, and Smith evading and dodging tacklers. He's slippery out there. He'll take it up just shy of the 25.
He does not look like he weighs 195 pounds, Chris. That's what I've got on my roster, 5'10", 195. But he is definitely slippery. Looks like the defensive line there for Bryan Station did a really good job, but he just, as you said, slipped away and used some speed there to Gain a few yards.
Yeah, gained 7 or 8 after 3 broken tackles. Under 8 now. Second quarter. Broncos by 3, second down and long. Great crowd on hand this afternoon for Central Kentucky high school football. Stroutman back to throw. He'll dump it short. It's Avion Chenault, his first catch of the day. And boy, he's met and tussled and thrown outside.
Again, they tried to just throw a short pass right here, get the ball in his hands, get him into space, but there wasn't a lot of space there. You had the 2 guys sitting right there trying to keep Chenault in front of him. Actually, 3 guys, and a couple of them double up, as you said, to forcefully remove him from the game.
And now you got third down at 21.
Third and 21.
So this drive began for Douglas. Good field position. And 25 yards worth of penalties. He had a hold followed by an unsportsmanlike in. The Broncos up against it on third and long. It's a draw to Smith, and Smith ravaging, and he's short of a first down as he takes it up to the 50. He'll be 2 yards shy, but that's a pickup of 19.
I wouldn't be one bit surprised to see him go for it here, Chris. They've got 2 yards. Yeah, they're getting back up on the ball real quickly, not giving the defenders time to get set.
Fourth down at 2. And we're going to have a whistle, and somebody's going to call timeout. It'll be a Bronco timeout on 4th down and 2. Let's take one more look at that great rush by Smith on 3rd down and long.
Make sure you head down and visit the Raising Cane's concession stand.
Gosh, if you look at that, Chris, just a really good job blocking up and down the offensive line, turning their guys out. Just allowing for a good running lane there. Really nice football play. Good call. You had defensive linemen trying to put on a pass rush, and that's the best time in the world to run your draw. Is when you've got guys with their ears pinned back trying to put pressure on the quarterback.
Broncos coordinated offensively by Evander Harris. He's called a great game thus far. You talked about the Wildcat, the fake to Darion Talbert, then Dakari ran it to the other side, just shy of the boundary. We'll see what the strategy is here as the Broncos offense still out there on 4th down and 2. And Peyton Smith is the lone back behind Stroutman. Turner, first down. And Peyton Turner spinning inside, Peyton Smith spinning just to the 40-yard line and a first down.
I love how their backs just really hit the hole hard. Oftentimes backs are just going to chop their feet, but he hits the hole hard. He gets to that seam before it closes, and that's a key to having some good, successful football runs.
It's a gain of 11 by Peyton Smith. And the Broncos now at the Bryan Station 40. Pharaoh Watts gets the call, and Watts evading to the left. Pharaoh Watts down the sideline and chased down from behind at the 11. Tripped up by Jordan Haskins after a gain of 29 yards.
If Haskins hadn't caught him right there, he would have been gone for 6, but nice defensive play by the young man. There's another young guy. We've got so many players on this field tonight, or this afternoon rather, Chris, with football opportunities to play elsewhere. Jordan has multiple D1 offers, including one from the University of Kentucky. So, a lot of kids are going to be playing after high school.
Haskins only a sophomore. That was a great block leading the avenue, if you will, by Peyton Smith. First down and 10 from the Bryan Station 11. Watts again. He'll take it up for a few inside, and Douglas really for the 3rd time have been inside Bryan Station's 10-yard line.
Yeah, not a lot to show for it so far. I'm sure they would like to put a touchdown on the board here going into halftime.
Maybe on Chenault, not pictured. He's at the bottom of your screen. He is the top receiver on the year for the Broncos. 1 target thus far as we tiptoe under 6 minutes. Hand off to Kari Talbert. Talbert to the far side. Dakari Talbert is in for a touchdown.
As coaches like to say, there's no substitute for speed. Just a really nice job right there. You see, he hits up inside and bounces it outside, and he just outruns everybody.
Nice block on the edge by Pharaoh Watts as well. As the Broncos will shuffle Aranda back for the point after. Logan Busen is your holder. That was a great response by the Bronco offense after the early penalties. Jimmy hooks the long snap, hold down, and Frederick Douglass adds 1 to the tally. 10-zip, they lead Bryan Station. You're watching Central Kentucky High School football. Now a word from Martin's Peterbilt on Glycod.
The road, call Martin's Peterbilt Mobile Service. Our 24/7 commercial roadside service, truck and trailer repair, and warranty service will have you back on the road in no time. Call us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Martin's Peterbilt, keeping you rolling. You're watching Central Kentucky High School football on Glycod.
Jakari Talbert, 11-yard touchdown rush, has given the Broncos a 10-0 lead. And despite the early penalties, it was a very impressive Bronco march.
Yeah, they were really pinned back deep. 1st and 35, and did not look good, but an impressive drive, some big plays.
And a very important drive looming for Bryan Station as Talbert will yield. That's Kalen Washington returning the kick, and Washington spun out across the 25-yard line.
Douglas, understandably, does a really nice job on these kickoff teams. Kids, I see them breaking down in a good defensive stance, not racing by the ball carrier, and just putting themselves in positions where a guy can't give you a juke and shoot by you. So really nice job on special teams.
Tayshawn Adams now in the slot on this formation. He is an outstanding target and talent, tremendous basketball player as well. Adams 6'3", 170. And Davis looking in the direction. That's Monte Ashford, also a basketball player. And Ashford wrapped up for a gain of about 2 up to the 29-yard line. That's Logan Busen.
Logan did a nice job there, allowed him to catch it in front of him and then made the tackle. Lawson's a smart kid. He's got a verbal to Bucknell. And I think he missed last week with an injury, so I'm sure they're glad to have him back for this game.
And Busen out with a hip flexor last week. Bryan Station trying to do something here in the balance of this half as the Broncos will have the football to start the 3rd quarter. There's Washington on the take, and Kalen Washington spinning inside, maybe up to the 31.
Be interesting to see what play call they have here.
Still a lot of time left in this game, but this is a very important play on the agenda for Bryan Station. 3rd down and a long 6. Is Davis back to throw. Davis eluding, and he's going to float it forward, and that appears to be an incomplete pass.
They're extremely lucky that they did not get a grounding call there. I didn't see anyone in the area other than a few Broncos. But a nice job eluding the rush. And so, yeah, you're right. They did not want to turn the ball over here this early and allow Douglas. Uh-oh, we've got another flag.
Marcus Newcomb, by the way, with the great pressure.
Okay, there it is. As I said, I was surprised that they didn't have a grounding call, and there it is, the flag, a late flag, and looks like grounding.
So Bryan Station going to have to give it up with a loss of down. And John Hannon is getting a lot more screen time than he would like. His 4th punt in this first half.
There's another flag.
We sure do on the far sideline. Good eye, Bill. That's out of your camera view. It's back at the 20.
It almost makes you think that there's something from a coach there. Is it a warning? Sideline warning? I think so. So he's getting an earful from somebody over there, and he didn't like it.
So no penalization in terms of yardage, at least on the warning. So 4th and 15 is Hannon back to punt again. And this one will get out of the cellar as it evades Chenault again, and he'll watch it bounce over his head up to the 41-yard line.
They needed a decent punt there. And quite frankly, I'm surprised that Chenault, he had room to go ahead and take that punt and try to make a return out of it, but he just neglected to let it. Didn't look like it was going to go very far, and just thought, we'll just let it die here and not take any chances.
It's 1st down and 10 coming up. Again, the Broncos will have the football to start the second half as well.
Big defensive series here for Bryan Station. They definitely do not want to go in with another score on the board. Keep it close. 10 points is very manageable.
Stroutman in the gun. It's Pharaoh Watts dancing to the near side and through the hole. No, that's Tay Allen. Tay Allen with his first carry.
You know, they've got 5 running backs, I think, with 30-plus carries. It's just what a nice thing to have if you're an offensive coordinator for your team there. Nice group of running backs.
Well, with Darion Talbert back outside, now Dakari Talbert has shuffled some to a running back position where he played much of the season. So now you've got really 5 running backs in some form.
Maybe a little motion there on the offensive guard. Looked like he was in a hurry, going to pull and try to get out in front.
Second and 11. Coming up at halftime, we'll update you on the first half stats. Also, a preview to next week's action. Final week of a district play next week for most of the teams in the area. We'll preview week 10. Second down and 11 here. Tay Allen on the take, and Allen spinning for a few inside. He got the penalty yardage back. Might be 4 down territory here. We'll see what happens here. 3rd down and about 4.
Bryan Station made some changes there on the defensive line. Looks like they put in some more mobile people here for this 3rd down situation.
Peyton Smith is your back behind Stroutman. Three-man rush is Stroutman. He's looking for Avion Chenault. Chenault covered up and incomplete. Wonderful coverage by Damon Green.
Oh, great coverage, Chris. It could have been a shadow. Stride for stride. Really nice job.
And the Bronco punting unit trickles on. Frederick Douglass timeout. Will step aside. 30-second break. 4th down and long. You're watching Central Kentucky High School football from Glycod.
People want to define Gen Z, but that's our job.
I wait tables, but last week I built a field hospital.
I put out a forest fire.
I stopped 1,000 attackers.
And a natural disaster.
I've saved lives.
And led a team on patrol.
I serve.
Well, I go to school full-time while I work full-time.
The greater the challenge, the stronger we become.
This segment of tonight's game is brought to you by the Kentucky Army National Guard. Serve your country while going to school or work full-time. Find your fit at NationalGuard.com.
Avion Chenault to punt after some consternation on the near sideline as the Broncos will give it away with 2:23 in the half. And Chenault, a spiraling high, gorgeous punt. And oh my, scarfed up inside the 5-yard line. And Jordan Haskins wrapped up.
I'm not sure that he intended to get that. It took a crazy bounce and bounced right in his stomach, and he thought, okay, I guess I've got to go with this. But you never want your returners to catch a ball inside the 5-yard line. Just take a chance on it getting into the end zone and get the ball out in the 20. But he should have gotten away from that ball if he had no intentions.
Second time in this half, Bryan Station has started inside their 5-yard line.
And again, a good decision by Douglas. I know they were tempted to try to run the ball there, but make these guys go the distance.
Galen Washington barreling forward.
You'd much rather go in at halftime 10-0 or even 10-3. Don't give them a shortened field.
Bryan Station still 2 timeouts left. I would think they'd be ecstatic to get to the half down 10 and not have to give it up again.
I would think so. I definitely wouldn't call any timeouts. Let that clock run.
Washington again, the security blanket behind Davis, so they're going to throw it. Here's the backside rush. Davis squirms out of it. And how about that for a rush and a first down?
And another flag. I'm guessing that could have been a face mask maybe, looking at where it was thrown. Looking for a white cap here. Personal foul.
Going to be a first down. There was a Douglas in, looked like Logan Busen, that was unevaded, and Davis able to squirm out of potential danger.
Now that's a real asset that their offense has, is Davis's ability to run down the field. When you put pressure on him, you still got to make sure that you keep him contained, or he can run for some good yardage.
Davis 86 yards, to your point, 86 rush yards last week at George Rogers Clark, his former school. So first down at 10. It's Bryan Station now with a penalty yardage up at the 34. Davis back to throw, out to Ashford, and incomplete. Busen there. So despite the field position and the circumstance, Station staying aggressive.
That play never really had a chance. I'm not sure if he was just throwing it away or it was an exceptionally high throw, but it was good that it sailed out because there was good coverage there.
1:27 now in this half. As Davis tosses it over, and that's dropped. It was Damon Green.
Damon was anxious to run there, Chris. He had already ready to run, and you just got to catch that ball first. But he's definitely a guy that they want to get the ball in his hands.
That was Davis's perhaps his best pass of the half, as Bryan Station will pause with a timeout.
You know, Green was one of the players that Coach McPeak mentioned before the game that he wanted to keep an eye on, and that he was certainly an elusive receiver, so I'm sure they were trying to keep him in check.
Now, talking with Coach yesterday, wanted to really relay the point that this team is pretty much on course to what they've done the last few years, play a very difficult early schedule, and they learn lessons. They focus on the greater meaning in terms of what the season can turn into, and they've got some work left to do here, but they certainly have the personnel to win some key games coming up down the stretch.
And you know, I think you can do that, especially when your district games, you know, this is a tough district game, but other than that, for them, they don't really have some difficult district games, so it allows them a chance to heal up after playing some of these more physical and stronger football programs.
Third down and 10 from the 34-yard line. There's Washington, little flipperation, if you will, as Davis Over to Washington. He'll collect the high pass, and Washington bulldozed out of bounds near the 40-yard line.
I got entranced watching Cedric Works right there rush the quarterback. For a big guy, 6'5", 230, I can see where he, at the next level, could really be a good edge defender. He did a really nice job of getting by the blockers, 2 different ones, and put pressure on the quarterback to make that throw. Moves well for a big kid, 6'5", 230.
Douglas calling their last timeout, so now you got 4th down and 10. Oh, check that, about 4th and, looks like about 6.
Could really use a good punt here, Chris. Don't give Douglas an easy opportunity to put more points on the board.
Well, and you go back to, I think it was the second punt that Hannon dropped, so they've been a little shaky at times. Got a pair of Broncos back to return. Avion Chenault and Darion Talbert.
Pick your poison.
Well, Bryan Station doesn't have their punting unit out there as Davis now up under center.
Maybe a long count, trying to draw somebody offsides is what it looks like. Yep. Now that they'll probably bring on the punting unit next.
Bryan Station had that final timeout. They'll use it now.
That was worth a shot. Get a cheap first down, get someone to jump offsides, but Douglas wasn't buying.
Well, I think certainly the strategy here would be avoid Chenault and Talbert at all costs on this punt.
You don't necessarily want a long punt. You want a high punt, something that's going to allow your defense time to get down and surround, good coverage and surround the return men and minimize any chance for a big return.
Or perhaps a high punt out of bounds.
Even better.
Again, the Broncos will possess the football to start the second half as well. Steven Aranda, 25-yard first quarter field goal, got the Broncos on the board. And then Dakari Talbert, 7-yard touchdown rush followed.
They're not punting, Chris.
So Davis is out there on 4th down, and they're going to go for it to give it to your best player. Washington needs 6, and Washington on a second effort. I believe he might be a little bit short pending a spot. Logan Busen over there protesting. It's all going to come down to the spot on that far sideline. And he's short.
It's a gutsy call. I wouldn't have made it. Now you've got Douglas with the ball. Not a lot of time left, but on the opposite side of the field with a real chance to maybe put some points on the board before halftime. And I guarantee you they will come out here and they're going to draw up something that they can get them to the end zone or get them in scoring position somewhere down in that red zone.
From the 43, you got 1st and 10. That looked like Marcus Newcomb, perhaps on the edge, involved in that stop. So both teams void of timeouts. Stroutman is in the gun. And Stroutman, he's going for the gusto. And that ball is picked off. No, incomplete. Jordan Talbert intercepted. It's going to be an interception for Jordan Hawkins.
You know, they're discussing it now, but you watch so much college football, NFL football, and high school football, sometimes you try to remember exactly what the rules are. When he hit the ground, that ball came loose, but they're going to call it an interception. But I hear an awful lot of fans in the crowd questioning that call as well.
Jordan Haskins with the interception. The second Bryan Station takeaway. Zay White, an interception earlier. And it looked like Haskins possessed the ball long enough, and then the ground caused the dislodge. And Bryan Station, bunched formation again, backed up inside their 5. It's Washington on the hill, and he'll take it for a few. Well, you certainly can't fault the Broncos trying to go for the big play here late in the half. Be second down and 7. Washington again with the handoff. And that should be the final play of the first half. So 2 key turnovers by Frederick Douglass has the lead still at 10 points. And this second half going to shape up to be some kind of football game as Frederick Douglass leads Bryan Station at the half 10-0. More coverage right after this pause. You're watching Glycod.com. We'll be right back.
Children love Head Start, and you will too. Community Action Council's prep academies are hiring now. Head Start is an early childhood education program for children from birth to age 5. Help us give more children the Head Start advantage.
Teacher, what are you waiting for?
Join our team of dedicated education professionals. Apply online today at comaction.org. What are you waiting for?
For any of your window, door, and siding needs, contact the team at Elite Building Products. Their factory-certified, licensed, and insured contractors have been installing energy-efficient windows and doors for over 30 years. They also offer energy tax credits and military veteran discounts. Locally owned and open weekdays at 242 Wilson Drive, just off of the 27 bypass. For a free estimate, call 859-887-2440. Elite Building Products.
Home of excellent service, support, and satisfaction, Lexington Outdoor Power Equipment is your one-stop mower shop. Family owned since 1985, Lexington Outdoor offers top brands like Husqvarna, Toro, Grasshopper, and Echo. Plus, free pickup and delivery. Located just 2 miles west of Douglas High School, they're open weekdays and most Saturday mornings. For more info, stop in or visit their website at lexoutdoorpower.com. Lexington Outdoor Power Equipment, the right equipment for the right job.
Are you a parent battling with raising your child in today's fallen world? You're not alone. The Operation Parent Handbook is your beacon of hope with info and guidance on social media, vaping, anxiety, and more. It's a resource that equips you with the guidance and conversation starters you need in your parenting journey. Use discount code KIDS at checkout to get 10% off any handbook. Visit operationparent.org to reclaim your confidence as a parent. Operation Parent, you've got this.
Are you an HVAC and refrigeration tech looking for new opportunities? Tech24 is your single source for commercial HVAC, refrigeration, and kitchen equipment maintenance all across the country. We have exciting career opportunities with great pay and benefits in your area. To learn more, contact Brad at 864-549-8344 and check us out on the web at mytech24.com. 864-549-8344.
A new year means next level math, but even the best teachers can't always provide the personal attention each child needs. Magnesium has a solution to help any student excel. Our caring, highly trained instructors use a range of teaching modes that ensure true foundational understanding. We're not about rote memorization. The Magnesium method develops the critical thinking and problem solving skills they need to succeed, with the option to learn face-to-face online at home or face-to-face at one of our 1,000 neighborhood learning centers. Magnesium, we're changing lives through math.
Tonight's halftime report is brought to you by Mathnasium of East and West Lexington, sponsor of tonight's Scholar Athlete. Mathnasium unlocks the math potential in every child.
Halftime on the farm. Chris LeBar along with Bill Powell. Welcome back. Broncos, despite 2 turnovers, lead by 10, but you get the sense the second half is going to have a few storylines.
Yeah, it's good. Bryan Station really needs to come out and do something offensively and show that and show themselves that they can make some things happen and put some points on the board, even if it's just a field goal, and make this game more competitive. It's competitive, but you just don't want to let it slip away from you.
We'll update the stats momentarily and also identify the scoring summary, folks, here in this first half. What's your big assertion on both these teams in terms of what you saw in the first half?
Well, I think Frederick Douglass has just done a great job running the ball. We've alluded to several times how many good running backs that they have, and all of them have their own strengths. You know, they've got to cut out the stupid penalties. They've got to cut out the turnovers, and I think that they're doing, and I think things will work out well for them if they do that. Bryan Station, on the other hand, they've struggled. Washington's ran the ball 13 times. He's gained 47 yards, and it's not really up to what he's doing, but he doesn't run against Douglas's defense every week. So, they're going to need to create something offensively that whether it's throwing the ball down the field. Lots of their throws, if you think about it, are little short slants. They have, I take that back, they have tried to throw some long ones, just weren't successful. But they need to get that passing game going.
You've seen both quarterbacks seem like they've been more efficient on the ground thus far than through the air.
Yeah, and no disrespect, I don't think either one is what you would say a prototypical drop back, great passing quarterback. But what I can say about them is they're both really good athletes. And when that pocket breaks down, they've got the speed, the elusiveness to put pressure on that defense. And it's always tough to defend a dual threat quarterback.
A lot of coverage to get to. We'll have our Mathnasium Scholar Athlete of the Week. We'll also take a look at next week's schedule. But up next, some halftime stats presented by Man of War Harley-Davidson. We'll have all that for you in just a couple of moments. Thanks so much for watching us on Glycod.
For any of your window, door, and siding needs, contact the team at Elite Building Products. Their factory-certified, licensed, and insured contractors have been installing energy-efficient windows and doors for over 30 years. They also offer energy tax credits and military veteran discounts. Locally owned and open weekdays at 242 Wilson Drive, just off of the 27 bypass. For a free estimate, call 859-887-2440. Elite Building Products.
Calling all football fans. Come on down to Roosters, where the wings are hot, the drinks are cold, and the good times never stop. Roosters is where you can catch all the action of the game and enjoy a delicious meal. Choose from 15 varieties of sauces. Even try our burgers, salads, and out-of-this-world pizzas. Something for everyone at Roosters. Dine in, carry out, or let us cater. Open late for the Night Owls. Visit our Richmond Road location or off Nicholasville Road by Walmart.
Are you a parent battling with raising your child in today's fallen world? You're not alone. The Operation Parent Handbook is your beacon of hope with info and guidance on social media, vaping, anxiety, and more. It's a resource that equips you with the guidance and conversation starters you need in your parenting journey. Use discount code KIDS at checkout to get 10% off any handbook. Visit operationparent.org to reclaim your confidence as a parent. Operation Parent, you've got this.
Research has shown high school sports to be a great community influence. Join scores of local businesses that have partnered with Glycod in sponsoring live, hometown-oriented sports programming on our video and social media platforms. For more information, email info@glycod.com.
Let's get real. For a lot of people, 4 years of college might as well be a million. With us, you can get a certificate in a matter of months and start a career right away. College for the real world. College for your world.
With Fast Signs, create custom deep sea signage that makes the wait a visual escape. Fast Signs, make your statement.
on your mind. Take this time to talk and get it right. You know I'll be there all your life. When you need me, I'll be by your side.
Little everyday conversations about the dangers of underage drinking can make a big difference in a child's life. Talk, they hear you.
You're watching Central Kentucky High School Football on Glycod.
Just a perfect afternoon for high school football. Frederick Douglass leading Bryan Station 10-0 at the half. Now for your first half stats presented by Man of War Harley-Davidson. And certainly this game dominated on the ground.
Yeah, just look at the stats here, Chris. 3 completions combined for both teams. Pretty incredible for a high school game at this point. Yeah, and it is. Frederick Douglass, of course, has been able to pick up 165 yards on the ground. And that vaunted running attack for Bryan Station's not done quite what they had hoped so far. 59 yards on 18 carries. But they need to get something going on the ground to open up their passing game. Otherwise, they could be in for a long afternoon.
5 Bronco penalties in the first half. Also 2 interceptions. And that interception by Zay White in the end zone, perhaps the biggest play in the first half because that took 6 points off the Bronco board.
Oh, huge play. You're exactly right. If the game is 17-0, it's, I don't want to say it's over. It's certainly not out of reach, but you'd have to think with Frederick Douglass being the kind of team they are that it would be really tough odds to overcome. So huge play.
Take a look at this. This is actually the play in question, the Zay White interception. That would eventually be marked at the half-yard line, but a huge takeaway there as White with the pick. Jordan Haskins also an interception. The scoring recap, Stephen Aranda got things started, 25-yard first-quarter field goal, and then Dakari Talbert, a 7-yard touchdown rush, middle portion of the second quarter, and the Broncos on top by 10. Bill, some adjustments certainly for Bryan Station. They're going to start on the defensive end here to start this third quarter.
Yeah, I think it's important for them to come out and make a good stand right away. Not that you can't give up a couple of first downs, but you certainly don't want to let this game get away from you. Don't let them drive the field. Keep receivers in front of you. Try to eliminate any big plays, and just give yourself an opportunity to stay in this game and maybe win it down the stretch.
I'd like to give a huge thank you and recognition to Mathnasium, sponsor of today's Scholar Athlete of the Week. We have done these all season long, trying to recognize scholar athletes throughout the FCPS system in all sports. Today we'll stick with football. It's Logan Busen. Logan, an outstanding defensive end. He also moonlights for Murray Garvin's great basketball program as well. Logan destined for Bucknell next year, 4.0 GPA. Again, Logan Busen, today's Scholar Athlete of the Week. And again, Mathnasium, 2 Lexington locations. They are changing lives through math. We'll step aside. More coverage on the other side. The band performing very well. Been a good football game. Broncos clear of Bryan Station by 10 at halftime.
New year means next level math, but even the best teachers can't always provide the personal attention each child needs. Mathnasium has a solution to help any student excel. Our caring, highly trained instructors use a range of teaching modes that ensure true foundational understanding. We're not about rote memorization. The Mathnasium method develops the critical thinking and problem-solving skills they need to succeed, with the option to learn face-to-face online at home or face-to-face at one of our 1,000 neighborhood learning centers. Mathnasium, we're changing lives through math.
Central Kentucky Driving School is raising the bar in driver education because the safety of their students is too important for anything less. Offering driver training for teens and adults, Central Kentucky Driving School will equip you with the skills needed to become a safe and confident driver. A proud community partner, Central Kentucky Driving School invests in their students and families and guides you every step of the way. For more information, give them a call at 859-538-7775 or visit drivecky.com.
People want to define Gen Z, but that's our job.
I wait tables. But last week, I built a field hospital. I put out a forest fire. I stopped 1,000 attackers.
And a natural disaster.
I've saved lives.
And led a team on patrol.
I serve.
Well, I go to school full-time while I work full-time.
The greater the challenge, the stronger we become.
This segment of tonight's game is brought to you by the Kentucky Army National Guard. Serve your country while going to school or work full-time. Find your fit at nationalguard.com.
10-0 at the half. Broncos lead Bryan Station. Take a look at Week 10's schedule. Final week of district play here in Kentucky. Big game with Trinity and Oldham County inside 6A. Also a huge game at Campbellsville and KCD next week, as the winner of that will win their district inside Class A. And then Bryan Station on their home turf will take on Madison Central. Just a few of our games next week on Glycod. 10-0 here. Frederick Douglass on top of Bryan Station. We'll step aside second half right after this.
Research has shown high school sports to be a great community influence. Join scores of local businesses that have partnered with Glycod in sponsoring live, hometown-oriented sports programming on our video and social media platforms. For more information, email info@glycod.com.
Home of excellent service, support, and satisfaction, Lexington Outdoor Power Equipment is your one-stop mower shop. Family owned since 1985, Lexington Outdoor offers top brands like Husqvarna, Toro, Grasshopper, and Echo. Plus, free pickup and delivery. Located just 2 miles west of Douglas High School, they're open weekdays and most Saturday mornings. For more info, stop in or visit their website at lexoutdoorpower.com. Lexington Outdoor Power Equipment, the right equipment for the right job.
Calling all football fans. Come on down to Roosters, where the wings are hot, the drinks are cold, and the good times never stop. Roosters is where you can catch all the action of the game and enjoy a delicious meal. Choose from 15 varieties of sauces. Even try our burgers, salads, and out-of-this-world pizzas. Something for everyone at Roosters. Dine in, carry out, or let us cater. Open late for the Night Owls. Visit our Richmond Road location or off Nicholasville Road by Walmart.
Are you an HVAC and refrigeration tech looking for new opportunities? Tech 24 is your single source for commercial HVAC, refrigeration, and kitchen equipment maintenance all across the country. We have exciting career opportunities with great pay and benefits in your area. To learn more, contact Brad at 864-549-8344 and check us out on the web at mytech24.com. 864-549-8344.
A new year means next level math, but even the best teachers can't always provide the personal attention each child needs. Mathnasium has a solution to help any student excel. Our caring, highly trained instructors use a range of teaching modes that ensure true foundational understanding. We're not about rote memorization. The Mathnasium method develops the critical thinking and problem solving skills they need to succeed, with the option to learn face-to-face online at home or face-to-face at one of our 1,000 neighborhood learning centers. Mathnasium, we're changing lives through math.
Let's get real. With us, you'll get a great education that can lead to a great career faster. Even better, you won't end up with crippling debt. College for the real world. College for your world.
For any of your window, door, and siding needs, contact the team at Elite Building Products. Their factory-certified, licensed, and insured contractors have been installing energy-efficient windows and doors for over 30 years. They also offer energy tax credits and military veteran discounts. Locally owned and open weekdays at 242 Wilson Drive, just off of the 27 bypass. For a free estimate, call 859-887-2440. Elite Building Products.
You're watching Central Kentucky High School Football on Glycod.
Frederick Douglass football in just a couple of moments. Broncos on top of Bryan Station as we get set for half two, 10-0. Stephen Arana 25-yard field goal and Kari Talbert's 7-yard touchdown rush. And Bill, starting field position has not been Bryan Station's friend.
Gosh, I didn't realize. I knew it wasn't good, Chris, but until statistician Hugh Davis here, good friend of mine and statistician extraordinaire here, gave me these. They have started on the 1, on the 5, on the 5. Their average starting position the first quarter was on the 15, and their average starting position the second quarter was on the 12. It's no wonder they've not been able to generate any points or any sustained offensive drives. You're always at a disadvantage when you're backed up. It limits your play calling and what you're willing to do. And so hopefully Bryan Station can turn the table a little bit on them this next half and get started with some good field position, a few drives, and see what they can do with that. I think Douglas, by the way, has started much better. I think their average starting position was something like the 46-yard line. It was crazy.
Dakari Talbert, Avion Chenault trekking back to return this kickoff to start the second half. Again, the winner of this game will be the likely district champion.
I would be surprised to see sort of a pooch kick here. But Bryan Station has surprised me several times this first half, so we'll see. But I wouldn't want to kick it to either one of those two guys. I'd much rather have an up back return it.
We've seen Hannon punt 4 times. This is his first kickoff, and it's a low kick fielded right at the 20-yard line.
Ooh.
Across the 30 and spun down at the 42.
There was a big seam right there and a good football play by, I didn't get the number right there, but otherwise he could have taken that to the house.
It was Terry Kaysen on the return. And again, more favorable starting field position for the Broncos as they'll begin at the 42.
We have an official timeout briefly here for some reason.
Going to be discussion with a couple of the student athletes. That might be a solid piece of officiating there, just trying to nip any potential issue in the bud. Howard Carter involved in that conversation, the Bronco left guard. So the Broncos' first play from scrimmage in this third quarter. Both teams 4-3 coming in. It's Pharaoh Watts getting the call, and Watts take it up inside for a couple.
Looked like number 21 Strozier came in there and made that tackle. Typically a defensive back. Looks like they've got him in a linebacking position.
44. Second down and 8. Pass out in the flat. Darion Talbert, and there's Talbert slippery and sliding, and Darion Talbert down the far sideline, and a first down as he's thrown out by Jordan Haskins.
And again, you can see why they want to get him the ball in space. Just such an elusive runner. And what did you say? He had 4.4 speed in the 40, so anytime you're getting in the 4.5 area, lots of people say they have that speed, but when it comes down to it, very few do. And when you see it on the field, it's certainly a difference maker, but really nice run on his part.
Talbert's first catch of the season after overcoming an injury suffered late in camp. And he is certainly providing a big boost for this Broncos offense. First down at 10. That's Pharaoh Watts again, this time to the short side of the field. And Watts cuts it back inside. And Watts a stiff arm and out for another first down out at the 15-yard line. And a gallop of 21. This Bronco running game, they have exercised and flexed their muscle in the first half and up to their old tricks to start half 2.
Pharaoh Ross ran for 64 yards in the first half, and he's picked up right where he left off. He bounced that outside a little bit. Someone lost contain, and so it was a really nice pickup for Douglas there.
The two receivers just outside of your camera view. It's staircase formation. There's a handoff. That's Peyton Smith, and Smith bounces it out. There's two penalty markers behind the play. And this one likely coming back.
Holding on Douglas appears to be the call.
You've seen Watts with so much success on the ground that Bill mentioned. Also, Peyton Smith. 6 first-half rushes for 63 yards.
Nice little 10.5 average.
It'll be the 6th Broncos penalty in this game, and this will take them back to Bryan Station 22.
You know, it makes it so tough on a defense, Chris. You know, late in the game, people get tired. People start getting tired, but they're just running backs in and out, and they're staying fresh and anxious to get the ball.
First down at 20. 22-yard line. It's Peyton Smith to the near side, cradling the ball with that outside hand, and Smith tucking it back to about the 20. We'll pick up a couple.
Nice job on the defensive side there for the defenders. Oftentimes with Douglas, what is so tough is because they've got guys that are so fast, it's easy for guys to have a play inside and then bounce it outside. And if you don't have the speed to defend that, you're in trouble. But they did a nice job keeping containment there and limiting the damage.
Gain of about 4 to 5 yards. Second down and long. Farrell Watts this time in the backfield. And Watts on the take. Farrell Watts dragging defenders across the 15-yard line. And now a big third down looming for both teams.
Big stop needed here for Bryan Station. And I would assume, obviously, we're in the 4-down territory, and I don't think that Douglas is going to want a field goal here. They're going to want to get a touchdown.
Te'Andre Clark, the star linebacker position, another tackle for Bryan Station. Clark's 5th tackle of the afternoon. Peyton Smith adjacent to Stroutman's left. Smith, here's a little flip to the near side. It's Chenault on the end around, and Avion Chenault. Too much Bryan Station speed as Chenault is stacked up.
Number 2, Avion Chenault. Really good job on that corner. Bryan Station staying home. As we can see here in the replay, the receiver stayed in contact with him and really did a nice job of trying to stay home and make a block, but good effort there by that defensive secondary for Bryan Station and keeping it in. Here we go. Here's the pitch. See him working on the outside. Just did a really nice job. Allowed some other defenders an opportunity to get over and help out. Good football play.
So Bryan Station's defense going to oppose first-team offense for Douglas, not going for a field goal try on 4th and 9. Stroutman on a slant.
And
a flag in the end zone.
Yeah, he had to throw that. He was all over him.
Looked like Caleb Bailey, the safety, going to be called.
But you know, Chris, sometimes it's either commit the foul of interference or let him have a touchdown. So the interference is the lesser of the two. But he ran a nice post pattern there and had the inside track. Good throw. And the defensive guy just really didn't have any position but to come over his shoulder.
So pass interference. It's still going to be 4th down, so not an automatic first down like the professional level. Half the distance, so 4th and a long 4. And certainly Douglas going to go for it now. Takari Talbert in the backfield. Talbert gets the handoff. Talbert needed the 5-yard line, and he'll take it very close, and it will be a first down.
Down inside the 5-yard line. Gain will be good for another first down.
Talbert showing his value. He's played a lot of offensive positions this year. And now it's first down and goal. A lot being thrust on the Bryan Station defensive shoulders. First down and goal. Talbert again bounces it out, and Dakari Talbert in for the second time, and a Broncos touchdown.
Those Douglas backs do such a good job of bouncing it outside when it's not there. And Talbot, of course, the leading rusher on the season for the Broncos. You can see it here, bounces it outside and just nobody uncontained and just waltzes into the end zone.
Talbot, his 5th rushing touchdown of the season. And Stephen Aranda on for the point after. Perfect 16 of 16 on extra points this year. Logan Buse in the hold. And Aranda's kick. And Frederick Douglass with a nice start to their second half. They lead Bryan Station 17-0. This is Glycod.com.
Tow? Martin's Peterbilt Towing Service is here 24/7. Based in London and Pikeville, we will travel to you. Commercial trucks and trailers, no job too big. Call us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Martin's Peterbilt, keeping you rolling. You're watching Central Kentucky High School Football on Glycod.
Dakari Talbert in from 4 yards out. That followed a 7-yard touchdown rush earlier in this game. And now Bryan Station starting to really face a monumental task, down 17 points.
I was watching Coach McPeak having an animated discussion with one of his players and also an official trying to get some sort of clarification. I think he was upset about something going on there that wasn't being called. But they've got that worked out.
Short kick from Lawless. It'll be cradled and fielded by Kamani Barber. As Barber fumbled that football and the Broncos scarf it up. That was a wonderful hit in the open field. And the recovery by Frederick Douglass. Sion Khan.
That number 17 there, Josiah Lemon, that's the son of KSR co-anchor there, Ryan Lemon, I believe. And just a great football play. Put his helmet on the football, and just the way you draw it up. And really nice football play.
Third turnover in this game, the first takeaway by Douglass. And my, oh my, an opportunity here to put the hammer down. And again, the starting field position, the contrast today between these two teams.
Station's going to have to make a stop here to have any hope.
This will be at their 20, and the defense back out there again. Mr. Curry Talbert wrapped up. That was a wonderful play around the edge by Big Brunley Fawn for Bryan Station.
You know, and you hate to say it's over with 7 minutes to go in the game, but with the offense that Bryan Station has shown so far, it would really be tough to match 24 points moving forward. So from a psychological standpoint, it's really important for them to make a stop here.
Loss of 3 on that play. Fawn, his 5th tackle for a loss on the year. Under 7 minutes now in this third quarter. As Stroutman is in the gun. This time Talbert again at the far side. Talbert knives it back inside, and Talbert in for the hat trick. Well, Bill, with Darion Talbert coming back today, you thought he might be the storyline. Oh, no. It's his younger brother, Dakari, his 3rd touchdown run.
Just a really good football player. Good bloodlines in that family, Chris.
And Stephen Aranda back for another point after. A dominant start to this second half for Douglas. It's Bryan Station seeking answers on that far sideline. And Aranda's kick. Add one to the tally. 24-zip at the half. Rather at the 6:43 mark of this third quarter. We'll step aside, be right back.
We all make choices about alcohol. Kids make choices whether to drink or not.
Bye, Dad.
Bye-bye.
Remember, I'm going to Alex's party tonight and sleeping over.
Have fun. Hey, remind me about that party again?
And adults make choices whether to talk about it. That's true of parents and every other trusted adult in a kid's life. Kids want to know our expectations, and they want honest answers in everyday conversations. So talk with your kids and help lead them on a positive path. Because when you talk, they hear you.
You're watching Central Kentucky High School football on Glycod.
Two Bronco touchdowns in the first 5.5 minutes of this second half has grown the lead to 24. The Bryan Station set for another return. They fumbled the last kickoff. Aiden Lawless, a hooking high but shortish kick, fielded at the 5. That's Kalen Washington. And Washington greeted and brought down shy of the 30. Take one more look at this Dakari Talbert run around the left edge.
Just a good football run, planted with that right foot. Barry Sanders looked to it there. People that are able to take what looks like a small gain and make something big out of it.
So Bryan Station will have their first possession of the second half. James Davis, shotgun formation. And Davis, perhaps a design play call as he's grown and thrown down for a loss. Back to the 26-yard line. Jandre Maxbury credited with that stop as Davis has had a couple of nice runs today, but for the most part, this Douglas front has kept him contained.
They're really strong on the ends on both sides of the football, Chris, and just makes it tough to really get anything going.
Loss of 3 back to the 25. Washington, 2nd and 13, and again, just so much thickness inside. Small gain up to about the 30-yard line.
Gain of 4 out to the 30-yard line. Man of War Harley Davidson. 3rd down.
Be interesting if we could see some more intermediate passing by Bryan Station instead of a quick screen or a bomb, maybe.
3rd down and long. Davis set to throw. And that ball is nearly picked off. That was nice coverage by Eli Mongego, the safety, to break that pass up.
Very good coverage. Lucky to get away with without an interception there on Bryan Station's part when we've got a couple flags on the field.
Take one more look at this pass breakup before the officials sort things out.
Yeah, he had 2 guys all over him. Again, lucky to get away without an interception there.
Sion Khan also involved in the coverage. There's Coach McPeak out there. So Bryan Station be declined. And a couple of penalties on the defenders. A 4th down, the byproduct, and another punt for John Hannon.
Douglas is just saying, just give us the football.
The time of possession and the starting field possession have clearly been huge factors in this game.
Just never really allowed Bryan Station to get off tracks. It's tough start deep in your own territory. Really minimizes what plays you can call.
4th down and long, Hannon to punt. And this one evading Chenault again, steered to the far sideline, and nice punt. Will dance out at the 32-yard line, a punt of 38 yards.
5:03 remaining. In the third, your score, Douglas 24, Station 0.
So the Broncos offense back in tow. It's been a perfect weather day today. And the final home game, certainly in the regular season for the Broncos. They're on the road next week at GRC, followed by the big one November 1st at Boyle County. And we'll talk with Coach McPeak here, and certainly within the next couple of weeks. That game has so much meaning from an RPI standpoint. This Broncos team right now 4th in the 6A RPI. And nice job by the Bryan Station front.
Again, Douglas tried to bounce it outside, but they were home and they were ready for that play. Defensive end out there just stayed home with his man and made a good football play.
Be no gain on that play. And Bryan Station home next week for their senior night. Will be on the air as well. They'll host Madison Central. That game has a lot of significance, as the winner of that likely will be the 2 seed and have a home playoff game. And what have we here?
Little motion on the offense.
So the Broncos will go in the red and now face 2nd down at 15. Take a look at the Bryan Station sidelines as this program, so much success, back-to-back 6A semifinalist appearances. But for the moment anyway, still can't beat Douglas. 2nd down at 15. And the 27. At Pharaoh Watts up just shy of the 30. And Bill, you have to really like how the Broncos massage and manage all these moving parts in the backfield.
You know, we alluded to this earlier in the first half. It's so nice to have so many talented guys that you can call on, keep them fresh, keep that pressure on the defense. And they've got a lot of talent there in that backfield. Guys that they can call on and expect to have success with.
We've not seen sophomore Jeremiah Turner just yet. He has blazing speed. He's worked his way into the rotation as well. Tate Allen, a couple of carries today. He's just short of 300 rush yards. A lot of talent and depth at that position. 3rd down and long. So Peyton Smith, and Smith up just shy of the 35. And it looks like the Broncos will punt it away.
You know, mathematically, you get 3 touchdowns here and you get 3 2-point conversions. It's a tie football game, so it's not out of the question here. And Bryan Station, by that stand right there, is certainly not giving up. A lot of good football plays there, still being physicals, still getting after the ball.
Still 14 and a half minutes left in this game as Chenault, rugby-style punt. It's a belt-buckle high punt. Nice cradle on the hop for Bryan Station, and the defenders will have it at their own 40. Damon Green fielding that kick.
Damon handled that like a shortstop, a little short hop there and squared up on it. I thought it was a little risky, but he did it pretty deftly.
So Bryan Station's offense, what sorts of things can they do to get some momentum on that side of the ball?
That's a good question. I would look to throw, if they've got it in their offense, just some shorter curls and maybe some slants. What I've seen are the quick screens, the bubble screens, and the long passes into coverage. And I think if they just look to throw some 10 and 12-yard patterns, get some guys open in some hook zones and some curl zones, and maybe open things up a little bit for them.
First down at 10. This is a different formation. As Washington positioned to the left, and there's a penalty marker. 5-yard deduction on Station.
That was definitely a different formation, Chris. I don't even really know how you would, what kind of moniker or call you would give that formation.
Well, it wasn't as odd as the Dunbar formation last week on the 4th down with Connor Norsworthy about 10 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
Never seen anything like that.
First down at 15. Davis back to throw. Haskins had a step, and Haskins could not hang on. There's a flag as the defender did not turn around.
Good call. Good call.
Like Ethan Richardson going to be flagged.
We see the replay here. I think he might have actually thrown that ball just a little behind him. Yeah, see, he had to pull up for it. If he had put a little air under that, put it out there, maybe quite possibly it could turn into a bigger play.
So Station will have inside, well, just about inside Broncos territory, right at the 50. Not many passes completed today for Bryan Station. 2 of 7 in the first half for James Davis. Washington with the play call, and Washington ahead of steam around the corner, and there's Kalen Washington down the sideline, and Washington with a punishing rush up just shy of the 20.
That's a young man you don't want to let get a full head of steam. He's going to be tough to bring down for some of these defensive backs when he gets a full head of steam. I mean, we're looking at guys back there in the secondary, 150, 160, and 170 pounds, and here comes a guy 210 pounds who's looking to run over someone. So really nice job getting him out on the corner.
Washington, 897 rush yards coming in. He had 47 in the first half, so still work to do to get to 1,000 on the season after today, but his team now inside the 25. Washington with the call again. And he'll take it up for a couple as we wind down under 90 seconds in this third quarter.
If Bryan Station can find the end zone here, there's hope. There's certainly time to catch up with a couple of touchdowns and a couple of two-point conversions, but they really need to put this one in there.
Davis back to throw. That's their aspiration, and it's incomplete. Pass out in the corner that was incomplete. Looked like Damon Green was the target.
Again, just good coverage there by that secondary for the Broncos. Not sure who that corner was there, but really did a nice job of staying with him.
Looked like Dakotas Fields as Washington on the carry on third down. Nate Logan Busen with a nice job staying at home.
Did a really good job right there, Chris. Kept his outside arm free, tried to squeeze it down, made him bump outside, and by the time he did that, he had several other defenders be able to come in and help out, but really nice job defensively there by Busen.
To 4th down and 6, Bryan Station. Going to have to run a play before the conclusion of this quarter. And what a play it is. Needing 6 as Davis operating. Davis rolling. And he's going to be ushered out of bounds, and the Broncos with a turnover on downs.
I was looking downfield, Chris, and I saw the same thing he saw. Nobody open. I I know one of the things that they do with college receivers is they really do a good job of guys getting to work back and find an open spot and settle down in it. But there was nobody to throw to. And you hate to have to run out of bounds when you really need a touchdown in the worst way, but there was just no good option there.
So the Broncos now will have possession at their 21. The balance of this third quarter. Frederick Douglass led 10-0 at a half. A pair of Dakari Talbert touchdown rushes in this third quarter, 1 of 7, the second of 4. Has expanded the lead to 24-zip. There's Peyton Smith cradling and covering, and he'll be chased down, and that's going to take us to the fourth. 24-0 Frederick Douglass on top, continuing their dominance over Lexington teams. Fourth quarter on the way back from Glycod.
Let's get real. For a lot of people, 4 years of college might as well be $1 million. With us, you can get a certificate in a matter of months and start a career right away. College for the real world. College for your world.
People want to define Gen Z, but that's our job.
I wait tables, but last week I built a field hospital. I put out a forest fire. I stopped 1,000 attackers.
And a natural disaster.
I've saved lives.
And led a team on patrol.
I serve.
Well, I go to school full-time while I work full-time.
The greater the challenge, the stronger we become.
Let's get real. With us, you'll get a great education that can lead to a great career faster. Even better, you won't end up with crippling debt. College for the real world. College for your world.
You're watching Central Kentucky High School Football on Glycod.
Frederick Douglass poised for their 5th win of the season. If they can polish these final 12 minutes in this game, they'll have it from their 23. Second down and 8. Peyton Smith, inside handoff, and Smith right through the hole, and a big first down as he's tripped up at the 42-yard line. A gain of 19.
Nice saving tackle there by Caleb Bailey, defensive back. Dove took him out at the knees. Otherwise, I think he would have gone the distance there.
You saw Peyton Smith in the first half with some gashing runs. There was a draw play on, I believe, third down at about 18. He picked up 16, and he has been a factor on the ground.
That gives him 91 yards in the day. So you got Peyton Smith at 91 yards, Pharaoh Watts at 95. You got 2 guys knocking on the door of 100 yards rushing. Impressive.
This offensive line, Austin Harmon left guard, Austin Harmon left tackle, Howard Carter left guard, Lavelle Martin the center, Razion Gillespie right guard, and Jackson Dials the right tackle, having a dominating afternoon. The first down at 10 from the Broncos 39. Inside handoff, Smith again. There's your plus 100 bills. He's tripped up at the 47.
Does just such a nice job of cutting. If you'll watch here in the replay, plants that left foot and then just accelerates right there. And then cuts upfield, good acceleration. What a great attribute for a running back to have. Some guys have good top speed, but the guys that can get to that top speed in a hurry are the ones that are exceptional. And he has shown tonight that he has that ability.
And if this team can shore up some of the mistakes they've made, they have all the ingredients for another deep run. The running strength they have is unmatched, I think, at 6A. Stroutman in the belly. There's Pharaoh Watts, and Watts across for a few up to the 43-yard line.
These guys run really well in traffic. There wasn't anything there, and he just lowered his shoulders and picked up a few.
Second down and 6.
But you give him a crease, just a little seam, and they can take it a distance.
And I think for Bryan Station, the reality of the situation is a set in as their body language just doesn't appear all that strong here. They've been manhandled at times in this game. Stroutman gives to Watts, and Watts tripped up but finds a crease anyway, and Watts perhaps a half yard or two.
I tell you what, these backs run really hard.
That's nice penetration around the edge.
I watched some of the Florida State highlights last night, and their backs ran really hard as well, but they just kept turning the ball over. And you can't do that. And they took another one on the chin, but these backs for Douglas, they give effort on every play as if they're trying to take it to the house.
3rd down and 4. And again, with Darion Talbert, you'd think it's going to take him a little time to get back into the swing of things. With him back, this Broncos offense, this is another layer the teams have to prepare for. Under 9 in the 4th. Smith with a hand, and there's Peyton Smith twisting and twirling for another 1st down.
Douglas is content now just to take their time, run the ball down the field, make sure all your backs get plenty of opportunities to get some carries in.
Under 8:30 in this 4th quarter. Stroutman out in the flat. And a great open field tackle. As Darion Talbert on the reception, tackle out in space. That was Keon Watson.
Oh, he's good.
Second down and long. And the Broncos taking their full allotment of time as they certainly in no hurry as they go back to the line of scrimmage. There's Smith again. Chris Girton will collapse down for the stop. Now, despite the score, this Bryan Station front, Bill, I think certainly some building blocks. Girton and Brunley Font have made some plays on the edge.
Yeah, and we were talking about body language just a moment ago, and you can see it team-wide, but this front line, they've certainly not given up. They're staying physical. They're playing with some pride, and, of course, lots of these guys grew up with friends with each other in the neighborhood, so there's still some other pride on the line besides what the final score is.
Now, this rivalry is certainly a rampant in all sports, in all competition levels here between these two fine schools. As Stroutman has it 1st down at 10, and Stroutman's going to chuck it in the end zone, and nice coverage. That was Damon Green out there. Also Caleb Bailey, and it's incomplete.
I think if he had thrown that football just a little quicker, that he was open briefly, but by the time the ball got there, the defensive guy had closed the gap.
To 4th down and long as the Broncos going to go for it. And Stroutman, how about that for a quick kick? And wonderful fielding by the Broncos down inside the 15-yard line. So Bryan Station's offense will have it 1st down and 10, but again backed up inside their own 15.
Like to see that, Chris. Good call, good football play there. I think more teams should use that more often than they do. For one thing, you don't have to worry about a bad snap. You're just snapping it back 4 yards deep. And all you want sometimes is just a little pooch with no return.
Still 6:35 left. Both teams with full allocation of timeouts. As James Davis around the edge on a slant, rifled and incomplete, tried to find Jordan Haskins as Davis took a lick back inside that pocket.
But, that's one of the patterns that we were talking about just a moment ago. Maybe some intermediate throws, a little post pattern there, just threw it too high. But, again, good coverage by Douglas. It'll be interesting to see just how badly Bryan Station wants to put some points on the board.
Clock idle now. There's Caleb Washington, and Washington with a handoff, and Kalen Washington spinning down just near midfield. Gain of about 36, and that's Washington's longest trek of the game.
So Washington had 83 yards going into this fourth quarter, so he has gone over that 100-yard mark again for the, seventh time so far this season.
And that might put him over 1,000 for the year, as he needed just over 103 to get 1,000 on the season.
Yes, he should have that, so nice run there by him.
First down at 10. And Washington, there's no rest for the weary as Washington, another inside handoff.
I think Bryan Station would very much like to put the score on the board. The game is no longer in question. I don't think anybody really thinks that something magical can happen here. But nevertheless, I think you want to walk off knowing that, hey, we didn't quit and made some things happen down the stretch.
Davis back to throw. There's Works behind him as Davis with some escapability, and he'll be ushered out. That's Logan Busen on the near side.
I've seen enough of Cedric Works this afternoon to see why he can be a prized recruit, especially on that edge. I can see him at the next level. You got these big offensive tackles that are not quite as mobile, and I can see him giving some of those guys fits, especially once he gets into a college weight program and just gets that much bigger and faster.
They're down in 4. As Station, a little indecision, perhaps. Works again in the backfield, and he's going to wrap up Davis. As Davis got the handoff, looked like a little bit of an indecision there.
Well, I think he wanted to hand off to the running back, and he just went by him before he had a chance to. I'm not sure the running back wanted the ball that time, or else they just
fourth down and short.
Signals.
Washington with the handoff, lowering the shoulder, and a first down, just shy of the 40.
Well, he definitely wanted it there.
That's all guts and moxie by an outstanding player, Kalen Washington. And Bryan Station back to the line of scrimmage here as they go hurry up. First down at 10. And that ball is caught as well.
This is what we're talking about. A little short post pattern from the slot man. Good throw.
Monte Ashford, his second target, his first catch of the day. And Bryan Station again back to the line. And that ball just out of the reach of Kamani Barber on the far sideline.
Again, another good play call. Ran an out pattern. He was open. And as you mentioned, just a little bit of an overthrow.
I think one of the keys to Bryan Station's success for the rest of the year, can they find some consistent ability in the passing game? Second down and 10 trips to the top of the screen. And Davis looking that direction, and that's a low pass right on cue as he had an open target and just underthrew Jordan Haskins.
Haskins is another one of those guys you want to get the ball in his hands out in space. Would have been nice to see if he'd gotten that throw up.
Third down and long. Haskins has played some quarterback this year. There are some packages for him, certainly in running scenarios, etc. But right now it's been Davis that's gone the distance thus far for Bryan Station. 3rd down at 10, and Davis on a design run. He needs 10, and he's going to seek the edge, and he's got a first down and lowered the shoulder as well as he's down at the 13-yard line. Be a 13-yard gallop for James Davis.
Really nice run by him there. And then Dakota's Fields, cornerback there, 5'9", 165 pounds, just stepped up in there and took him on with a good lick there. Good defensive play on his part.
To Bryan Station with their deepest penetration thus far in this game. They've got it inside the Douglas 15-yard line. There's Washington hitting the hole hard, dragging tacklers.
I think we can answer that question. How bad does Bryan Station want to put a score on the board here? They are determined, a little hurry-up offense, and they want to score. They do not want to leave this game with a shutout.
2nd down and 5. Inside the 10, Davis goes to his second read. He dumps it short, intended for Washington, and it's broken up to Corey Fields with a breakup.
Really good coverage there. I thought he might have gotten there a little early, but no call.
And now you're looking at 3rd down and 5. Washington barreling forward. Kalen Washington be trekking. It's about a yard short as we tiptoe under 3 minutes left in this 4th quarter. And a Bryan Station timeout. So certainly no quit in the defenders this afternoon. We'll pause for 30 and welcome you back to the farm right after this.
Road, call Martin's Peterbilt Mobile Service. Our 24/7 commercial roadside service, truck and trailer repair, and warranty service will have you back on the road in no time. Call us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Martin's Peterbilt, keeping you rolling.
Glycod on YouTube is Kentuckiana's fastest growing high school sports video site. When you click to subscribe, don't forget to tap the bell and be notified of our upcoming live broadcasts and other unique video content. Subscribe for free now at youtube.com/Glycod.
You're watching Central Kentucky High School Football on Glycod.
2:59 in the 4th, Bryan Station. 4th and 1. The Frederick Douglass 5-yard line. Defenders trying to get on the board here as Davis is up under center. Washington with the tote, and Washington didn't need much, and a lot of girth there as he'll take it for what appears to be a first down. And it will be 1st and goal.
I would have been shocked if they'd done anything different than that. The defensive line there, it's interesting. You see this a lot in the college level too. Guys, just before the snap, defensive lineman bounce to
Washington with the carry. Logan Busen around the edge, and he'll team up with Cedric Works for the stop.
That's 3 really good football players on that play. He hit him hard, and yet Washington still bounced off and tried to make something out of it before Works came over and cleaned up the play.
Till 2:20 left as Douglas making Bryan Station work for it here to get on the board. Washington again ducks it up inside, and Kalen Washington dragging, and he's just short of the goal line.
Looks like the 6-inch line, Chris.
Washington unofficially 49 career touchdowns. And he's looking for number 50 here as Bryan Station. 3rd down and goal from inside the 1. Washington again, and a whistle, and somebody lined up. Look like Broncos perhaps in the neutral zone. So in the books, that'll go down as what, Bill, about a 3-inch penalty?
Yes. As bad as Bryan Station wants to score, I think Douglas here does not want them in there. They want that 0 on the scoreboard.
So half the distance. Oh, and Davis lost the snap. It looked like he was able to recapture it after the bobbled snap.
A lot of pride out here. One team desperately trying to get on the board, the other team desperately trying to keep them off of it.
Line of scrimmage now back about the 1. 4th and goal. Yep, Washington up the gut. There's a Bryan Station score. Kalen Washington is in.
Did you say 50 touchdowns, career touchdowns?
Well, we had him at 49 unofficially for the career coming in. As Washington adds one more.
That's a pretty nice high school career, isn't it?
Sure is.
And he's not done yet.
4,700 career rush yards. You figure he'll eclipse 5,000 at least. He's well on his way. And Bryan Station on the board here. And they're going to go for 2. Certainly the math in their favor in terms of going for 2. Although this one out of reach in the end zone and broken up. That's great coverage. Logan Busen.
Busen has been all over the field. Nice job there, outside linebacker. They ran a corner route, and he stayed with his man and just made a good football play.
Take a look at Bryan Station's schedule coming up. We'll have the next Friday big game hosting Madison Central. And then the regular season finale at Central Hardin, followed by their district opener in a couple of weeks. And for the Broncos, final regular season home game today at Winchester next week against Clark County. Then the big one in Danville on the 1st, leading in to their postseason opener in a couple of weeks. That game at Boyle County, which I believe you'll be on the call, that's shaping up to be very interesting.
Oh, that will be a great football night. It reminds me of a couple games that we had years ago where everyone was so excited about watching it. Some of the area teams actually went and played on Thursday night so they could come and watch the game. So I don't know that anybody's planning on doing that, but it's going to be a big night.
Onside kick from Hannon and smothered by the Broncos. They'll have it at their 48-yard line. Coming up at the conclusion of this game, we'll have the Central Kentucky Driving School drive of the game. Also, our most outstanding players from Elite Building Products. And a quick tease to Week 10 next week with 6 games coming up next Friday. Crowd still in wide numbers here. Haven't been a ton of people that have left. Just been such a beautiful day. As
yeah, why not just hang out?
Enjoy the sunshine.
Enjoy the sunshine. Looks like a lot of fresh jerseys in there.
Well, in the victory formation, as the Broncos going to take a couple of knees. And Frederick Douglass going to improve to 5-3. Bryan Station will fall to 4-4. And we've not seen every team in the state, Bill, but I can assuredly say there's not a better 3-loss team in Kentucky than Frederick Douglass.
Well, I would imagine not. And again, just what it, such a difficult schedule they play. Bowling Green, Trinity, Manual. I mean, that's 3 really good teams. And they played Corbin,
Male,
and Male. Gosh, that's 5 good football teams.
Which they've all helped their RPI. And the Broncos with a big win today, a very impressive win. And they're going to defeat Bryan Station 24-6. 2 great head coaches, 2 class head coaches will meet at the 50. As for today, the Broncos continue their dominance against high school football teams in Lexington.
Yeah, I was looking at you talk about 2 great coaches. It's interesting how similar their records are. You know, Hawkins is 46-14, and McPeak is 47-12, and both of them play a very competitive schedule, and so both those guys doing a fantastic job with their programs.
A lot of mutual respect. Douglas wins today 24-6. Our post-game report presented by Cartown Kia on the other side of this timeout from Glycott.
Children love Head Start, and you will too. Community Action Council's prep academies are hiring now. Head Start is an early childhood education program for children from birth to age 5. Help us give more children the Head Start advantage.
Teacher, what are you waiting for?
Join our team of dedicated education professionals. Apply online today at comaction.org. What are you waiting for?
For any of your window, door, and siding needs, contact the team at Elite Building Products. Their factory-certified, licensed, and insured contractors have been installing energy-efficient windows and doors for over 30 years. They also offer energy tax credits and military veteran discounts. Locally owned and open weekdays at 242 Wilson Drive, just off of the 27 bypass. For a free estimate, call 859-887-2440. Elite Building Products.
People want to define Gen Z, but that's our job.
I wait tables, but last week I built a field hospital. I put out a forest fire. I stopped 1,000 attackers.
And a natural disaster.
I've saved lives.
And led a team on patrol.
I serve.
Well, I go to school full-time while I work full-time.
The greater the challenge, the stronger we become.
Calling all football fans. Come on down to Roosters, where the wings are hot, the drinks are cold, and the good times never stop. Roosters is where you can catch all the action of the game and enjoy a delicious meal. Choose from 15 varieties of sauces. Even try our burgers, salads, and out-of-this-world pizzas. Something for everyone at Roosters. Dine in, carry out, or let us cater. Open late for the Night Owls. Visit our Richmond Road location or off Nicholasville Road by Walmart.
Drive with the confidence and security of a pre-owned Kia from Cartown Kia. This incredible certification package is loaded with a 5-year, 60,000-mile bumper-to-bumper warranty, a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty, 10 years of national roadside assistance, and 2 years of free maintenance. Choose from over 70 certified pre-owned Kias or over 1,000 vehicles of all makes and models. It's new car driving at used cars prices with certified pre-owned Kias from CartownKiaUSA.com.
Tonight's post-game recap is brought to you by Cartown Kia, your dealership for unmatched design, performance, and savings at 3120 Lexington Road in Nicholasville. Visit them online at CartownKiaUSA.com.
Another impressive win for Douglas in this series. They've now defeated Bryan Station in all 7 tries today. 24 for Douglas, 6 for Bryan Station. And Bill, at times this score was really not even that close.
No, it's deceptive. It really was. Frederick Douglass, it could have gotten it ugly right there if they hadn't had the turnovers. And, kudos to Bryan Station for not giving up and driving the ball down the field in that final drive to put a score on the board. But the score is not really indicative of how the game really was. I don't think it was ever really in doubt after the second quarter.
What are your biggest takeaways from this game?
Well, one thing is I'm just really impressed with how many weapons that Douglas has, especially getting the Talbert kid back. And so they've got just a couple of great receivers. They've got 4 running backs that they can count on any one of them, giving them just great effort back there and just really good running backs. So all the offensive weapons, and then I say that, but then I look at them defensively on that defensive front there, and the linebacking core for Douglas with Works and Logan Busen, and the job that they did, and Caden Clay in there several times. So they've really just got an outstanding defensive group. The defensive backs had great coverage all night. You really never saw an opportunity for James Davis to throw the ball downfield to a wide open receiver. They just weren't there.
These final numbers certainly tilted in one direction. Neither team threw the ball very well, but 275 rush yards for Douglas, and you had 2 eclipse 100. Watts with 101 yards and Peyton Smith with 111.
Yeah, and how do you defend that when you've got multiple backs coming in there? When you're facing Bryan Station, one of the things is we've got to stop Washington. All right, but when you're facing Douglas, hey, they've got multiple weapons that you've got to be cognizant of, and that just puts a lot more stress on the defense.
Broncos 3 of 9 on third down. Bryan Station 3 out of 12. Bryan Station 4 penalties. Broncos with 5 more penalties, but despite the interception in the first half, this game was clearly one-sided. Broncos 14 quick points to set the tone and really win this game early in the second half.
Yes, Bryan Station could just not really get anything going offensively. Of course, we talked about this at halftime when you start off with those terrible spots. They start off at the 1, the 5, another time. And the second half, they got a few more good starting field positions. But it was a game where Douglas just dominated the field position and really was in control the entire game.
We'll step aside. Up next, we'll have the Central Kentucky Driving School drive of the game. Also, the most outstanding player. We'll have all of that for you in just a couple of moments on Glycott.
Confidence and security of a pre-owned Kia from Cartown Kia. This incredible certification package is loaded with a 5-year, 60,000-mile bumper-to-bumper warranty, a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty, 10 years of national roadside assistance, and 2 years of free maintenance. Choose from over 70 certified pre-owned Kias or over 1,000 vehicles of all makes and models. It's new car driving at used cars prices with certified pre-owned Kias from CartownKiaUSA.com.
Let's get real. You could go to work right after high school, but spend a little time with us and we'll give you a better chance to do more, be more, and earn more. College for the real world. College for your world.
New recruit, take advantage of our apprenticeship program. Come out of our 4-year course debt-free. With health insurance, a guaranteed pension, a degree, and an electrical license.
3 words I'd use to describe the apprenticeship are opportunity, skillful, educational,
solid career path,
rewarding, beneficial, and a brotherhood.
A life-changing opportunity.
The cost of school is free. All your books are paid for.
You go to school once every 2 weeks. All the other stuff is on-the-job training.
The teachers here are great. They're all very, very knowledgeable.
They're preparing you for what you're already seeing in the field.
If you're struggling with something in school, sometimes your fellow students can help you work through that.
Everyone's willing to help each other. It's like a big family.
I love being a part of a union, something bigger than myself.
This field is so vast. You can find something that you really love to do because there is so much you can do.
I went from a job to a life-changing career.
Power up your potential with the IBEW.
Stuck on the road? Call Martin's Peterbilt Mobile Service. Our 24/7 commercial roadside service, truck and trailer repair, and warranty service will have you back on the road in no time. Call us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Martin's Peterbilt, keeping you rolling.
When it comes to vaping, the truth can get clouded. So let's make it clear. Vaping is not safe for youth.
Because vaping can put microscopic particles into your lungs.
And dangerous things like metals into your body.
And nicotine, which can harm a person's brain development through their mid-20s.
With appealing flavors, high nicotine levels, and lots of promotion on social media.
Many kids think vaping is harmless, but it's not.
So talk to your kids about the risks of vaping.
Because when you talk, they hear you.
People want to define Gen Z, but that's our job.
I wait tables, but last week I built a field hospital. I put out a forest fire. I stopped 1,000 attackers.
And a natural disaster.
I've saved lives.
And led a team on patrol.
I serve.
Well, I go to school full-time while I work full-time.
greater the challenge, the stronger we become.
This segment of tonight's game is brought to you by the Kentucky Army National Guard. Serve your country while going to school or work full-time. Find your fit at nationalguard.com.
Frederick Douglass, a winner today over Bryan Station 24-6 as we welcome you back to the farm. Today's Central Kentucky Driving School Drive of the game presented by Central Kentucky Driving School. And we don't have the precise information on this drive, Bill, but you go back to those penalties. It was 1st and 35 for Douglass, and they still traipsed down 80 yards for a Dakari Talbert touchdown.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing, Chris, if you ask. I do not remember exactly which drive that was, but I do remember the 1st and 35, and somehow they put a drive together and took it off the length of the field. So that has to be the most impressive drive of the day. Central Kentucky Driving School, a huge part of what we're doing here on Glycod. You can contact them at 859-538-7775 or drivecky.com. They offer driving lessons for both teens and adults. We'll take one more time out. Their most outstanding players presented by Elite Building Products of Nicholasville right after this final timeout from Glycod.
Research has shown high school sports to be a great community influence. Join scores of local businesses that have partnered with Glycod in sponsoring live, hometown-oriented sports programming on our video and social media platforms. For more information, email info@glycod.com.
Home of excellent service, support, and satisfaction, Lexington Outdoor Power Equipment is your one-stop mower shop. Family owned since 1985, Lexington Outdoor offers top brands like Husqvarna, Toro, Grasshopper, and Echo. Plus, free pickup and delivery. Located just 2 miles west of Douglas High School, they're open weekdays and most Saturday mornings. For more info, stop in or visit their website at lexoutdoorpower.com. Lexington Outdoor Power Equipment, the right equipment for the right job.
Calling all football fans. Come on down to Roosters, where the wings are hot, the drinks are cold, and the good times never stop. Roosters is where you can catch all the action of the game and enjoy a delicious meal. Choose from 15 varieties of sauces. Even try our burgers, salads, and out-of-this-world pizzas. Something for everyone at Roosters. Dine in, carry out, or let us cater. Open late for the Night Owls. Visit our Richmond Road location or off Nicholasville Road by Walmart.
Are you an HVAC and refrigeration tech looking for new opportunities? Tech24 is your single source for commercial HVAC, refrigeration, and kitchen equipment maintenance all across the country. We have exciting career opportunities with great pay and benefits in your area. To learn more, contact Brad at 864-549-8344 and check us out on the web at mytech24.com. 864-549-8344.
A new year means next level math, but even the best teachers can't always provide the personal attention each child needs. Magnesium has a solution to help any student excel. Our caring, highly trained instructors use a range of teaching modes that ensure true foundational understanding. We're not about rote memorization. The Magnesium method develops the critical thinking and problem-solving skills they need to succeed, with the option to learn face-to-face online at home or face-to-face at one of our 1,000 neighborhood learning centers. Magnesium, we're changing lives through math.
Let's get real. With us, you'll get a great education that can lead to a great career faster. Even better, you won't end up with crippling debt. College for the real world. College for your world.
For any of your window, door, and siding needs, contact the team at Elite Building Products. Their factory-certified, licensed, and insured contractors have been installing energy-efficient windows and doors for over 30 years. They also offer energy tax credits and military veteran discounts. Locally owned and open weekdays at 242 Wilson Drive, just off of the 27 bypass. For a free estimate, call 859-887-2440. Elite Building Products.
You're watching Central Kentucky High School Football on Glycod.
And for the final time, welcome back to Frederick Douglass High School. Today's most outstanding players are presented by Elite Building Products, locally owned, offering an outstanding selection of windows, doors, and siding. Stop in at 242 Wilson Drive in Nicholasville or visit them at elitekentucky.com. And certainly not a lot of dilemma with both of these young men. Kalen Washington for Bryan Station.
No, and of course with a shout out there to Jordan Haskins and to Andre Clark on defense, but you have to give it to Kalen Washington there. 26 carries. He was a workhorse for him. He was the only offense they really had tonight of any substance. Gained 137 yards, so he's certainly the player of the game for Bryan Station.
Well, and for Douglas, Peyton Smith with a huge game, but hard to fault the guy that scores 3 touchdowns.
Exactly. You give it to somebody else, like, what the heck? He ran for 111 yards, 3 touchdowns. What else have I got to do? So, Pharaoh Watts deserves a shout out there as well. 11 carries for 101 yards. And both those guys, nice averages, 7.9 for Peyton and 9.2 for Pharaoh. I think any coach would be pleased with that.
You got defensively some stars. Jordan Haskins, you mentioned 10 tackles for Bryan Station. And Logan Busen for Douglas, 9 tackles. DeCorey Fields with 8. And Cedric Works with 5. He was a major factor around the edge.
He really was. He put a lot of pressure on. Some of the things that he did defensively you won't see in the statistics, but his coverage, dropping off in flat coverage, and then also putting pressure on the quarterback. So, and then Logan Busen was all over the field. So a lot of people had a standout game for Douglas.
Week 10 next Friday. We'll have 6 games starting with Lafayette Dunbar at 6:30, an Indiana playoff game at 7, and then 4 big games at 7:30, including these same Bryan Station defenders against a Madison Central team that appears to be pretty evenly matched.
Yeah, I don't know much about Madison Central. Did you see them last week?
They gave Douglas all they could handle.
Yeah, that's right. So we know that they're very capable. That's for sure.
Thank you so much for joining us today on Glycod. Our executive producer has been Steve Burr, Joe O'Mullion on camera. For our partner, Bill Powell, I'm Chris Labar. Good afternoon from Frederick Douglass High School. You've been watching Central Kentucky High School football on Glycod.
From Glycod, this has been Central Kentucky High School Football. Presented by Bluegrass Community and Technical College. Never underestimate you. Tonight's game was brought to you by Cartown Kia in Nicholasville. Movement that inspires. IBEW Local 369. Power up your potential. Mathnasium of East and West Lexington. Changing lives through math. Roosters, a fun, casual place for wings and more. Martin's Peterbilt of Central Kentucky. Community Action Council. New Vista. Tech 24. Lexington Outdoor Power Equipment. And Fast Signs.
For schedule information about our upcoming broadcasts, visit our website, glicod.com, Facebook and Twitter @Glycod. We thank you for tuning into this live sports presentation from Glycod.